Oh, yeah. Hey, guys,
Oh, hey,
welcome
what's
to
up?
episode 92.
I believe.
Because I remember you did 91 last, or did you do 92 last time?
I know it's in the 90s. It's in the early
We're in
90s.
the 90s. And so we decided to bring back legendary guest AquaFPS. We're
Hey,
chasing the celebrity. Recently, fresh off the tails of doing
face of the 90s.
the guest. You were the guest for PKA recently.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, I saw nothing but outrage on their subreddit because they didn't talk to you the whole time, and I said we need to rectify that by having him on this podcast and not talking to him at all.
How little they spoke to me. It was actually a pleasure. I just listened to it basically. It was as if I wasn't even there.
It's not for the weak of heart. You got to fight to talk in there.
Yeah, it was. I tried a couple times. It's tough, but it's fine. They were all very nice. It was. I didn't. I don't have anything to say. Not a problem. I don't mind not talking.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's also hard to bust in there on people that you don't know.
That's true. I had never met any of them before.
Yeah.
But they were very nice. Very nice. You did you went on there, right, Sam?
Yeah. I had a good time.
Yeah. How much did you talk? Same amount.
I fought to get in, but I didn't talk a whole lot.
Tough.
It's tough in there. Yeah.
They just boom, 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 and before you could say anything, they're on the next thing.
I think a lot of it is that it's like, imagine going to like a barbecue or something and just trying to butt into a conversation with three dudes that have known each other for a decade.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Exactly.
Scary.
Yeah,
Scary
that's
stuff.
scary, dude. It's like talking to three uncles, and they've been at it for a lot longer than us. Actually, no, they haven't. Now that I think about it, not me at least. I've been around for a while, I think.
Doing podcasts specifically, or
no, just like online stuff.
Well, he's been in the game for a while. Yeah.
But they were all big when I was starting, for sure.
Yeah.
And now the meek inherit the earth.
That's us. Or was that just
that's
you?
us. Yeah,
Okay,
no,
that's us, right?
now we are the podcasters.
Yeah.
I think their podcast is bigger than ours by a substantial margin.
Man, I don't pocket watch. Okay, I have no idea.
It's not about that.
I got that video specifically in my For You page, and I clicked on it, and then I read the comments, and they were all like, "Wow, another guest! You guys are just gonna steamroll over." And we circle back to this every couple months where we'll be like, "Man, it really seems like a lot of people in our comments don't like us." But you look at that page and you're like, holy shit, we have a bunch of angels. We have a bunch of sweethearts and angels.
I read through those. They
hate them, it seems like. It doesn't seem like they like the podcast
I'm
at all.
going to make a huge admission here. I've stopped looking at my own subreddit because the comments hurt me.
Yeah.
But then I've started following the PKA subreddit because their mean comments towards them motivate me feel a little bit better.
By comparison, you are beloved. You are an angel.
I don't know what that is. That's a horrible little trait about me, but seeing other people go through it sometimes makes me feel a little bit better.
Your viewers love you, Sam. You're like their
you think
cult leader messiah. They have nothing.
Whenever anybody brings up you, they're like, "Oh, what a little sweetheart." Well, sweetheart, he's a little angel.
They call me old. They tell me I have gout and rickets, and they tell me
a little old frail man that everybody doesn't want to see fall down the stairs or something.
Yeah.
To be honest, though,
Apparently my arms are too hairy now.
Let me see those things.
I don't want to show that they're not that bad. This is the hairiest. They're hairier than my legs.
You want to see someone hairy? I just got this.
What are you about to show me?
No hair on my arms.
Before I see it.
There's this guy in the Discord. His name's Alfie.
Yeah.
Little bit unhinged. He's a guy.
He's in your Discord?
Yeah, he's
shocker. Yeah, well, okay.
He's a long time around there.
Someone unhinged in your Discord?
Yeah.
He's kind of a social outcast.
A little bit.
Even my Discord has those. Honestly, Discord is a...
Yeah, it's a weird place.
It can be a funky place.
It brings all types.
Yeah.
But for example, this is an introduction to Alfie.
Okay.
I think Lisa came into the call, and as soon as he heard her voice, he instantly takes off his shirt, walks to the far side of the room, and then crawls seductively across his bed back to his PC.
Like as a bit.
Yeah, like because he thought it was funny. I don't know. But look at this video. It's the most unhinged video. He sent it to me today. Look at this.
Something in the way. Yeah, well, okay. Yeah. It's a good read of a man. Yeah, I know too much about him now.
You're gonna edit that in. You're gonna edit that in, right?
Hell yeah, we're gonna edit that
Batman
in.
logo and everything.
Dude, the Batman logo, the abs. I don't think those are shaved on. I think those are natural.
This guy is great. I'm a big fan of Alfie already. Unhinged, wrong word. You need something like he knows a thing or two. This guy, you can. Tell.
He's unhinged because he got Bizzle mad, which that's a rarity. He made Bizzle snap on
that's
Project
only for
Winner.
us to do.
Yeah, that's only for me and Poom to do.
There's
Every
a little
time
Alfie's been exposed to him for like 4 minutes though.
Yeah,
like
hard.
it was that's a quick
turnaround for
fuse.
Bizzle. Yeah, he's pretty chill usually. But pretty much every time you've brought up Bizzle, it's been about you making him mad. Like the past couple years. Whenever you bring
recently
it up,
I've been a
Throwing
naughty
the wrong
boy.
way, huh?
Yeah. I think familiarity breeds contempt is what it is. Once I get too close to someone,
yeah, look at
once
us.
you know the buttons, once you know the buttons to push, then you got them locked in and you press them. You press them all the time. Yeah.
Press them.
You guys pushing each other's buttons. I see
like that whole
go
go-kart thing. I knew I should have stopped, and I was like, "This is making him mad," and I couldn't. Yeah, with you, and I couldn't stop.
I mean, it doesn't even matter. It's just like a faulty cart.
Yeah.
I will say the Alfie thing. It is a little alarming that he heard Lisa and immediately took his shirt off because she sounds like she's about 8 years old. So
Did he have the?
interesting. Yeah, if I heard point. Lisa, I think your child got a hold of the mic or something. But
I think everybody had their cameras on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so he heard and saw her, and then took off his shirt.
The camera was just already on.
I've noticed it's like the most actively cams on Discord out of anyone I know.
That's a weird vibe. Cam on Discord, just hanging out.
It's normally 5 guys staring straight forward with a completely black background, and I can't tell if they want to fuck or kill me when I go in there. It's like always a weird.
You know what's funny?
Like, it's a little disarming because you're like, oh, I now know what you look like, which is nice, but it's.
But then it's concerning because now you know what they look like, and it's not.
There's no mystique behind it. Yeah, I know how barren their walls are.
And they're the exact kind of people you would expect to be in there is the problem.
They're like you.
Yeah.
Like you if you didn't have Abby and your kids.
Pretty much, yeah. But what's funny is we were shitting on Bryan's room and everything, but some of the rooms that people have on their cams in like the rat room Discord are just so barren and it's like they'll just be black behind and we're like, dude, turn on a light or something. It's just scary in there. They'll turn a light, it's just
rat
white.
Runs across the wall. Yeah.
No, it's just a white room. Like they have nothing. They have that PC. That's
quite
it. Or like a laptop and a mattress.
Looks like,
No.
I think a lot of people, it's just not. People just don't care, which is totally fine. Like, but you get to a point where it's like, I don't know, if you want to start getting some pussy, man, you gotta put some paintings on the wall or something. You gotta really.
I am horribly disappointed with my room here. I gotta redo it. This is a fucking disaster. This shit, I hate that. Honestly, Sam and both of you guys. Your rooms, top notch, exquisite camera background situation going on here. Sam, you've got like a little dojo down there. I'm so jealous of that setup that you've got.
Like,
I don't know which Sam you're talking to.
He's probably talking to the guy he refers to.
Obviously,
as Sam.
you.
Oh, me. Okay. I don't. You guys have met now, and then as soon as you came in, it was just nothing but So everybody that once they've met Poop, they call him Sam, and then I get fucking pissed once I'm in the equation.
Who does that? Nobody does that.
They do it in real life because I'm like
Omid, Devin, Lettuce.
Well, Omid and Devin and I have hung out now like enough to like Devin. I've been to his home, enough times where I think it's okay for him to refer to me as my human name, but maybe you've got some issues with that. Yeah, it's not confusing when you're nowhere near us and we're just hanging out at a bar.
Yeah, but for
something.
the 2 days that I am there,
true.
That was
It's never even really that confusing because they're either looking at me or you.
Yeah, if they were asking a question about like actual stuff, it wasn't towards me.
Yeah,
yeah. Nobody's gonna.
Where are we?
Yeah, where are we going? Who are we going to see? Nobody's gonna ask me that.
But if they're like, "Hey, do you have my pin?" They're probably talking to you. Are you housing my weed pin, bro?
Yeah, did you steal the weed? There was 2 weed pins on the table. Where did they go? Sam? And I go, surely they're talking to Poop this time.
I didn't do nothing.
Yeah, he's such a sweetheart. He really turns on the you
The
can really
charm.
fake it. Yeah, the charm.
What are you talking
gets.
about
Yeah.
this?
I wouldn't be talking about widow this.
It's so gross.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's cool. To me, it's what a pleasure it was to meet Aqua. You know. And now you'll be at TwitchCon, right?
That was nice. Yeah, planning on it.
It's gonna be a disaster, dude. It's gonna be a
That's
nightmare.
gonna be a little too fun, I think. I don't think
Vegas,
some
that's
people will be able to
risky,
handle it.
Yeah.
Have you
There
guys
will be
been
dead
before?
streamers. I went when I was like 5, so
I
no.
hope not.
That is
But
the
if
worst
there-
time to go to Vegas.
If there is a
5
place,
years old? What the fuck did you do in Vegas?
Well, I breastfed off a bunch of hookers because my parents couldn't, you know, and I was still weaning.
Yeah.
No, I don't even fucking remember it. I didn't even know I had been one day.
I have a 5-year-old, and that seems like the worst possible thing is to go to Vegas with a 5-year-old.
I think we were just kind of bouncing all around, and we were in the area, so drove in. I have no memories of my travels. But, I think now that I'm a real man, it's gonna be tough.
a lot better. Yeah, I'm
Especially
not
with
gonna
like people like
gamble,
Omid,
I don't think.
who's like just not only a gambling addict, but like
oh god,
like a degenerate overall. He's gonna thrive there, but he's also gonna pull us all down. He's
I was
gonna
about
weigh
to
us
say,
down.
I've been meaning to talk to somebody about that. Like he seems like he's kind of fighting, like like when
Which is
he's
the way love.
no, like he's
what
like
you're
the
saying.
gambling thing. You could tell he was like like
No, he's like a gambling addict.
yeah,
for
he
sure.
seems like kind
we
of
all have our
a gambling
vices.
yeah. But he seemed to be struggling with the loss a little bit more than the rest of us.
what loss of what happened?
Like if he lost a hand or whatever, he's like, "Oh man, there's a win right around the corner." Like he had that.
Yeah.
You could tell he was way more invested
Got
in
that-
it.
He looks like my grandma when she's on the slots. Like he's got that look
Yeah.
in his eyes.
He's got the look.
Everybody
in his
else
eye.
loses
He-
a hand and goes like, "Oh well."
My grandma
Yeah.
still talks
No
about
biggie.
winning big in like 40 years ago at a casino. Like I won the jackpot and they had to bring me. I got a free hotel room. I'm like, I can't imagine chasing that high for so long. Like I've never even pulled a knife in CS:GO, and I'm like, you know, I've
Yeah, it's
known
bad.
from a early age like I would be addicted to gambling, so I really try to not. Like when we go to casinos and stuff, like I don't gamble because I just am very aware that I would
do.
very quickly. Yeah, I try not to. It's like the one vice I haven't totally succumbed to yet. So
I need a new vice. That one is kind of like dwindled for me. When actually like gambling in a casino with real money, for some reason,
Well,
I
sending-
prefer opening CS:GO cases
no, I
lately.
do too. Yeah,
That's like more exciting to me now for some reason.
Well, you get to keep the. Well, I guess you get to keep the money.
I mean, yeah,
But they make
with
that
the
stuff all
money,
the time. They don't make those knives and stuff all that often.
yeah.
They
I
make
guess
money
I'm
all
It's
the
better
time.
than money.
a
You could
fucking
buy
liar.
a knife in CS:GO with the money, though. That's
Yeah.
the thing.
Very
And
easily could have
you
bought a
could
knife
even
by
spend
now.
it on other things like food or
Yeah.
whatever, instead of the money being locked in Steam, unless you use like a weird, sketchy third-party middleman, freaky.
Yeah, but what if
freaky,
you win
geeky
big? What
website.
if you win big?
Yeah, but if you win big,
Help your
you don't
family.
get Steam doesn't treat you any better.
Oh yeah, you
True,
don't get
that's
any
But
free
if you win
drinks.
big at the casino, all of a sudden drinks, you get a
Yeah.
open house or
That
whatever.
is what I'm most excited about Vegas, because every casino I've been to, they don't do the like you sit down, people bring you free like booze and stuff. So
Yeah.
for Vegas, they treat you well. Okay,
I think
Maybe get
Vegas
even,
they only do that if
food.
you're dropping some serious money.
I'll
I
just
don't
sit around the
think-
guys
No,
dropping
you get
serious
free
money.
drinks no matter what.
Really?
If you're gambling, you can get a free drink. Yeah, absolutely. And then you can tip the waitress or whatever with like
You
chips.
can?
Can you hit
Wow,
on
that's
I,
they let you do,
can.
they let you give away some of your money to the waitress?
Like pretty much every other fucking
Vegas has it all.
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Hey,
pretty
sweetheart, keep them coming.
Hey, toots.
Yeah. I'm gonna turn into
Yeah.
a real scumbag at TwitchCon.
Honestly, we could go to Fremont Street and just like smoke cigarettes with a bunch of like just scary.
I love that's like the one reason I like a drunk cigarette is the people. It's like such an easy and great way to just be like, hey, you gotta smoke. And then you start talking, where are you from? Where are you from? And the next thing you know, you got a bunch of like 40-year-old friends and you never see them again, but you make plans for the next day. It's always a good time.
Yeah. And then you can.
Is that something common? You
PCP
stand
later
people
in the
up
night.
on plans that you make.
That's just a common drunk thing. Like you just.
Yeah.
Like, hey man,
tomorrow
like,
meet me
tomorrow.
here at 3 p.m.
we did that in Tampa for like I was like, this is like one of the
No
first
intention of
times
showing up.
this has ever happened, because most of the time it's like when you meet a girl or in the area, like, you know, you meet like a lot of waiters and stuff. And in Tampa, she was like, yeah, I'm a waitress at like this brunch place. You guys should come. And we actually went the next day, and I was like, this is maybe the first time this has ever happened where we followed through and we saw them working. And they were definitely like, holy fuck, these guys from the bar yesterday are here, you know. And like Lettuce is with us, Devin's with us, like just a bunch of unseemly looking guys. We rolled up around noon. It was a good time, but I think she said like one word to us and then went her own way.
Well,
but
we
like
weren't there for her. We were there to eat.
No,
Like,
you weren't there.
yeah, for the follow-up, I was there. I wasn't there for the initial bar night, but then the next day when you showed up to eat, I was there because I remember her going like, "Oh, you're from the bar thing last night." She bartenders at two different restaurants.
You weren't at American Social,
wasn't I? Yeah, it was like there was like a bar restaurant that we ate at. Where the bartender was like, "Yeah, I also work at the other place."
I'm not trying to like space you out of this memory, but there's no fucking way you were there, because Lettuce and Omid were like. It was Lettuce, it was Omid, Lettuce, Devin, me. It was just us four at the bar. We sat at a bar and ordered food. It took 50 minutes to get food.
No, this was like the semicircle restaurant that was up on the second story in Ybor City, and we sat down and ate. And you guys referenced that the bartender was from another bar that you guys went to, and she recognized you. So that happened multiple times. But one time actually had plans.
Are you fucking with me? Yeah, but the first time, you're totally getting me off. Yeah, the first time we made plans to go see her. And then we actually did it. You're fucking with me. You're fucking my whole flow up, dude. You're just self-inserting yourself in memories. And
you don't remember me there?
I mean, do we need to split hairs over this? Like,
yeah, because he wasn't fucking
this is a
there.
fight now.
Yeah.
Now we're going back.
I remember because I was there.
Calm down.
All right, now let's talk about the go-karts.
How big were her tits, if you remember so much? Okay?
I don't even remember
what happened
anything
with the
about
go-kart?
her. I just remembered that you know what? My memory sucks. I'm going to believe whatever you say. Where was I? What was I doing?
You know what I'm saying? Your memory sucks, and you're a sore loser about your memory. So I was there.
No,
you're gonna be horrible when you get dementia.
I was there. I ate in that place that I don't remember the name of.
The angriest man with Alzheimer's in the world.
I was there.
Dude, that's how you've probably had a grandpa or something in your life. When they get confused and old, they often get angry because they're like, my mind could have done this when I was young.
Yeah.
And now I'm like 30 and I'm like, man, my mind could have done this maybe 6 years ago or something. In my early 20s, that's when I probably mentally peaked.
My grandpas were very tame.
Really? My grandpa would forget something and get
gentle.
angry. Very angry.
Yeah. I never knew my angry grandpa, so I totally skipped out on that.
That's nice.
I feel like my mental cognizance has declined rapidly in the last few years.
Yeah,
I don't know
both
if
you
it's
guys
like
honestly scare me.
COVID time or I don't think I even had COVID. My wife had it twice. And I was just like right next to her the whole time. No, I was just like right next to her the whole time. And I don't think I ever got, maybe I did. I don't know, but
asymptomatic or something.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe those anti-vaxxers are right, and it's making us all stupid. The vaccines.
I don't know. I got like 15 vaccines. I feel pretty sharp, so I don't know.
Did you get 15?
One for each limb, and double it up.
This is an example. After the third one, I just can't seem to remember anything anymore.
Right. I was like, did I already get it or not? And I kept doing that every week. I'm like, am I sure I'm safe enough?
Yeah, like
Check it
that
out.
dude in Memento who gave his wife all the insulin until she died. That was pretty messed up.
Yeah, it's just kind of like that.
Was that the final thing of that movie?
It was a thing in the movie.
That was a
Is that
thing.
a written
Okay.
down? Give her
No, because
insulin?
I have seen so many hunks of Memento. I've never seen the full thing through.
Wait, hold on. I just have to mark 5
I
minutes.
thought you were talking about like hot guys in Memento. For
we made about 15 until movie talked, but let's open the floor. Yeah, what happened to Memento?
Oh no, I've
He's
just
like waking up and he has. Is that the movie with like the post-it notes or whatever?
Yeah, and he like tattoos all over himself, and he takes like
Okay.
Polaroids, and he goes like,
Yeah.
"Don't drink." He takes a picture of water coming out of his dick. He goes, "Don't drink that. It tastes like piss."
When your butt makes that noise, don't sniff big. Oh my God, you really
This
gotta
is
learn
not
it
a
all.
food dispenser. It's shit. Do not eat that.
Food and drink. No, he's got it tattooed on his dick. Don't drink. Yeah.
Not drink.
Yeah.
Don't try
But
to
yeah,
fit
that
it.
was the
You
premise of the
can't.
movie.
Don't put it in.
I knew the premise, and I liked a lot of parts of the movie, but I never like saw the full thing.
Oh.
And now that I know that he just forgetfully just overdoses his wife on insulin. that's
Different
pretty funny.
guy, not the main guy.
Just another
Never
forgetful
mind.
dude.
Well, then stop.
Yeah,
Because then
spoilers.
the
Do you have
mystery,
any,
the
like-
mystique is still there.
Big famous movies that you don't really admit you haven't seen because of like how you'd be looked at.
Citizen
I-
Kane, Casablanca.
My like best friend
you have like the main ones.
Dune Part
when we
One.
were in school, he would like he saw Biodome.
Oh, I
You know
love
that
Biodome
movie?
when I was a kid. Yeah. Pauly Shore and one of the Baldwin
Yeah, Pauly
brothers.
Shore and
Stephen
Steve
Baldwin.
Baldwin.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
Stephen
one of the
I like that
Baldwin
movie because
boys.
the chicks were hot when I was a kid.
Well, here's the thing. He loved Biodome.
It's a
And
good
I,
movie.
to this day, have been lying for like 30 years. I've been lying about having seen Biodome. And like he always quotes it or used to quote it. And I'd be like, and I'd like remember the quotes that he would say and I'd say them back. And I just lied about seeing Biodome. I've never seen Biodome.
I hate that. I hate that though, because I know exactly. Like, I have a best friend who says, like, remember this? Like, it's so important to him. He's like, remember when we were kids? I'm like, yeah, I do. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And then I'll just like recite back what he says. I'm like, that was awesome. I'm like, I have no fucking idea
I just wanted
what he's
to
talking about.
be
Just wanna
friends.
fit in, yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to make
I want
my
him to think
friend
I'm
happy
cool and I've got good
Yeah.
memory.
and have seen Biodome.
That's actually what I like about me and my brother is that he remembers different things than me. Because you're
Childbirth.
two different fucking.
He
people,
remembers when
but-
he was born or something or what?
No, I'll just bring up like, hey, remember when you went to go kick that football and you just full on shit your pants in front of like 40 people and then like. And he'd
And
be
then
like,
he's like,
I
no,
totally
that
forgot all
was
about
you.
that.
And then you guys
Yeah.
argue.
It's always
no,
me
no,
in
no.
mental
Yeah.
decline. No,
Yeah.
Sam, that was you. We have it on home
I
video.
was holding the ball with my finger and I moved it like Charlie Brown and you shit your pants, Sam. You don't remember.
Instead of
Scary.
falling on
You
his
start
head.
getting tattoos. Did not shit my pants. Polaroid picture of a football. It was
Not
brother.
shit.
Do not kick or shit, or you will shit pants.
You have it written on the football.
Yeah.
Not again.
Yeah. My like big one is I've never watched all of Interstellar, and it's like my dad's favorite movie, and we've talked about it before, and I'll just have to be like, it's something too that's like, so I know I'd really like it. Same with Dune Part 1, I watched like 40 minutes of, but I missed when all my friends saw it at the theater together. And then I was watching it at a guy's house where he had like the overhead lights on, and there were like 10 guys watching it. I'm like, I can't get into this.
Yeah.
And now I'm just never in the like, do I just want to sit down for 3.5 hours and watch this? Or do I want to watch like 50 episodes of TV? And it's hard for me to really commit to like Interstellar and Dune. It's like, oh man, I got two really big like sci-fi epics. It's going to take me like 7 hours to watch both of them. I don't know. I'm just never in the mood.
I have a stack of Criterions that I have like opened 2 of, and
You
and they're all
own them
just
and
like,
haven't seen them?
I own them. and
That's
I have-
crazy.
Yeah, I got.
That's
very-
like a next level liar.
Yeah, I got
'Cause
like.
those are expensive too.
They're expensive. I have. Well, I got them on sale. You know, they were having like a Cyber Monday or whatever. But I have like a bunch of Cronenberg movies. I have, what is that? Barry Lyndon. Just like just like the
old,
iconic,
famous good movies.
Yeah, old famous good movies, and I'm just like,
I'm really
I'll
never
never
in the space to watch that. Yeah, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I've never. You know what's funny?
Metropolis once. I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah, I've gone back far enough. If I've seen Metropolis, I've gone back far enough.
Watch a lot of Charlie Chaplin movies. You know, I'm good. I watch them every day. It's a little back for me though. I'm a more modern man.
What's great though is to have. You were talking about having like that fail nation or whatever thing, like
Fail Army.
Put that on.
Oh yeah.
At my in-laws, they'll just sometimes have like Turner Classic Movies on, and I started watching something with Gregory Peck in it, and I was like, this movie fucking rocks. Like, they were like, hey, Sam, are you going to come out in the backyard? We're, like, playing in the pool and having fun. I'm like, oh, fucking hold on here. Like, Gregory Peck's doing some shit. Like, it was like, I was so enthralled.
I don't even know who Gregory Peck is. You're just shooting over.
He's the guy from To Kill a Mockingbird.
Colgate Hour? Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Atticus.
Yeah, he's Atticus Finch in Kill a Mockingbird.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
God, you guys are really dating yourselves. Okay. You know, I did watch. Have you seen
it wasn't that movie, by the way. It was some other movie,
Classic.
and it was great.
Oh, okay. He's just famous. He's just known from that.
Yeah, and it was
both.
like
Okay.
it was like
I
some
went
like
to
4.5 minute
school with
long shot or something that I was watching in this old black and white movie. I was like, this movie fucking rocks. Like the amount of choreography needed to get all that done in that scene and everything. It was just awesome. But I'll never go back and rewatch it. I watched 7 minutes of that movie and I don't even know what it's called. It's just some Gregory Peck movie.
Have you seen like the old Pink Panther movies?
Parts of them.
Because that's like one where it shocked me where my stepdad had him on VHS once. And he was like, shut up, watch these. Like, I gotta go do shit. Like, at his house, he didn't have TV or internet or anything. So it was just like out in the fucking middle of the woods. But he had a bunch of old VHSs. And I watched those, and I was the whole time like, oh, like I remember them being like really funny when I was a little kid somehow. I'm like, I thought the whole time I'd be like, this is so fucking sucks. It was hilarious stuff, really, really good comedy.
Yeah.
Classic, yeah, shaped me. And then I'd do the double feature with Biodome afterwards. And yeah, get the whole well-rounded comedy. Yeah,
yeah.
Also want to be able to go get hit in the nuts and go, oh, go cross-eyed, just come classic Pauly Shore.
That from Biodome?
I don't know. I could totally see. Yeah,
I could pretend.
I honestly don't remember anything about Biodome except for that those two get sealed in the Biodome, and it's supposed to be like it's sealed for fucking 10 years or whatever. And then there's babes in there with them. And somehow it's like I learned so many comedies from that era. It's like if you're a dumb clown, you can have sex with a hot babe. And something about that shaped me where I'm like, okay, like I can get chicks way out of my league if I act like Pauly Shore.
And then you grew up and realized that Pauly Shore doesn't even get any pussy.
Like pervert, dude. Yeah. Yeah, it's like worse than Adam Sandler writing Hot Wives because it's like Pauly Shore and he's like, weird little guy.
A lot of scarves. A lot of scarves going on.
Weird style to him.
Yeah.
I'll take this off. This bit is done.
Oh, there it is. That was from before we started recording.
Yeah, this is from my stream. My hand's nice and soft though now. I keep a little Vaseline in there.
Were you playing the PGA game?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I was actually going fucking crazy. It's also because I golfed yesterday. I golfed 18, so I had a little bit of an itch.
18.
2 pars.
What the hell is wrong with you?
Not bad. Yeah, you know what's crazy? I woke up today, my neck is stiff and my back hurts. My arms are sore. I got like a genuine golf workout, which is like old people golf, like old men. So
18 holes is a lot. Whenever I go, I'm like 6 holes. That's
6?
enough.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'm like
18
so
felt like
it.
a bit. I could do like 15. I think would be like a perfect amount. But
That's
6 holes,
way
that's
too-
just
way
not
too
enough
much.
golf. That's not enough
9
golf for a
even
man.
is just a lot.
I'm just like an absolute. I can just bomb a drive. Like I'm just so good at driving. I'll hit it like 350, and then I like 12 putt, and it's over. I'm so bad at Sam. I know you didn't care about this. Sorry, and the audience doesn't either. But my short game is just abysmal. My approach.
I think the audience is on the edge of their
Probably
seat.
what?
His short game?
Because I look like a good putter. I know. I used to be. That's where you're getting that. I used to be a good putter. In high school, it's like all you practice, and now I'm like.
Were you on the team?
I was on probably the worst team in Indiana, and I was the bottom of the team, and my coach threatened He said, if you don't start, if you don't start improving, I'm going to kill you and your mom. No, he's like, I don't think there's a place for you on this team next year if you don't start improving. And it's so crazy because I practiced every day in high school, but I was like 5'4", and I don't know, like my clubs just weren't built for me or something. And now with no practice, I would beat the living fuck out of Kid Me, not only physically, but in golf. Like, I can just hit I just now don't get 12 every time, you know? Like, I got a par. I don't practice at all. Like, I can just have better hand-eye coordination.
Developed, like, body now.
Yeah, I'm a man now.
Somewhat, at least.
Well, penis
Still
is
waiting
the same.
for
The
that
penis
time.
and the balls are all the same. But that just actually helps a little.
That comes later. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I'm waiting myself.
I got all my weight in my arms, so I swing like a fucking monster. But
We'll get there.
Yeah, the real allure of golf, though, for me is just like an excuse to get outside. And also, it's like the only time you can drunk drive. Because you can drink and drive. Like, driving golf carts, I think, is the most underappreciated facet of golf. Just being able to drive those around. You just jump in and flying around. You got no opinion on that? You look like you fucking died or something.
No, I was I was waiting for my moment to interject, but I have seen
just interrupt me anytime.
Far more golf carts not on golf courses. People just whip them around
Florida,
the neighborhoods around here. Yeah, they rock. Honestly,
they do,
growing up, there was a kid that had a golf cart that just had like a truck bed on the back. I don't know what you call that.
Something?
Yeah, it's like a gator, I guess. Yeah. And as kids,
like more of a work vehicle.
Yeah, it's basically a work vehicle for the plantation he lived at. And his dad was just like, "Yeah, this is like yours. Like, go have fun, kids."
Those things fly. Those things go fast.
It was a gas powered one, so it wasn't like battery. Like it went, and then on top of that, like we had it was like a dump truck. Like it would raise up the back and everything. We got up to so much bullshit, just like being able to haul stuff around and move shit on our own with no parent supervision.
What do you mean? What are you moving around?
What were you hauling
We got
around?
into
Cinder
so
blocks?
much wild stuff doing.
Okay, so this is
rocks.
Doing
have you
work.
ever had
They
something?
tricked you into doing work. That's what happened. Move dirt from here to
Jason's
there.
mom, we got her so good when she asked us to like move
Mulch.
like.
No. This is actually one of those things that's like it's a great idea to a kid, and then you realize that it's not that great of an idea because like you don't factor in just humans being humans. But it was me and my friend Evan hanging out at his house, and we knew my other friend Michael was coming over later that day, and so we used it wasn't a gator, it was something, it had a different name, but we used it to basically carry like these tree stands, like hunting tree stands, out into like just the periphery of the woods at the edge of his yard. And we put them up so that they were facing the house. And because we knew we were going to play hide and go seek in the dark later. And we played hide and go seek in the dark. And me and Evan immediately went up the tree stands and we're just like 15 feet up in the tree looking down at him. And he literally walked around in the yard for like 7 minutes and then went inside to go watch TV. Like,
and you guys, we got up to so much trouble in that tree stand, Evan and I.
We wasted so much time just like way up there. No, just the setup was way too much for like, a couple minutes of just him wandering around like an idiot, and then he's just like, "Fuck these guys, I'm going inside."
Sucks when people don't like. Well, what do you want them to look around for hours? Like, of course you do when you're a kid. Yeah,
I want him to cry. Like, where did my friends go?
That's the smartest friend you have. Being like, "What the fuck? I don't know where they are. I quit."
What sucks is from the tree stand
even
we
like
could
that.
see through the window, and he walked
And
inside.
banging Evan's mom. Evan, no, don't look.
What sucks is I know he watches this podcast, but this is kind of funny. His parents were divorced, and his dad lived at this this house.
That kid.
No, his dad always had this lady that just like brought groceries in and was like his personal assistant. And it took him until like high school for him to like finally catch on. I was like, dude, your dad's banging that lady. It's so obvious. He brings her on vacations. They fucking go places together. He's like, no, she's just his assistant.
Was he like in a wheelchair?
He's like a fully functioning guy.
Yeah. It's weird that people hide stuff like that from kids.
Yeah.
You could just be like, this is my girlfriend.
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
Kids a lot of times are a lot more able to like,
grown up, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
to
yeah,
be
but
like,
then
oh,
he's
you're
gonna be like,
dating
do I
again
call
versus,
her
like,
mom? But it's like,
no,
just
you don't,
fucking
you don't
talk
think
to your
that.
kid.
When
yeah.
my parents started dating again, well, my parents had like relationships all when I was growing up, and I was never like, is my dad's girlfriend my mom now? No, my mom's my mom. This is some broad that sucks my dad's dick, you know? We'd high five about it. We'd laugh.
No, that's a common thing is people not understanding how mature a child
it's
can
weird.
be.
It'd be a lot weirder for a kid to be like, we have an assistant that you take on vacations and does everything with you.
Sex assistant.
Yeah. That's just like a weirder.
That's what she assists me with.
Yeah.
She doesn't do any work or anything. Groceries and making me come and go to bed. Easy.
Yeah. She tucks me in. She tucks me in. I'll make sure I go. It's sleepy time. That's weird.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
nice,
dude, I
yeah.
came across a conspiracy theory recently that I actually think might have some validity.
Some legs on it.
Yeah, some legs on it. It's
All
not
right,
like
let's hear it.
it's not like I don't think it's as concrete as it proposes to be, but I think it does have some legs to it. Hold on. It's called the
Insists upon itself.
Yes. It's called the dead internet theory. Have you heard of it?
Nope.
It's an online conspiracy
any
theory that
theories.
asserts that the internet now consists almost entirely of bot activity and automatically generated content marginalizing human activity. And but like imagine the amount of, especially with like, I mean, they say it started happening like 2017. I was like, that's a little bit early. Now that like Chat GPT's out, like how much of those like clickhole websites do you think are just like auto-generated?
No. Clickhole takes a very sophisticated, funny person to write those articles. Okay, don't you disrespect Clickhole or The Onion or any.
No.
those satirical
Clickhole, the
sites.
website, is a like a meta name on the fact that it's making fun of Clickhole websites.
Oh,
like
I thought you were talking specifically about Clickhole.
when you pull up like Google
parody
on your phone, and then they have like
What are you
the
talking about? Just
articles
like
underneath all these
like,
websites that
like
what is this?
news of the modern day.
Fandom Wire. I don't know what the hell that is. Oh, that's a TiVo website. But there's just like a bunch of like essentially sports. I don't know what the fuck this is, but it's just like a bunch of like little generated articles. I'm like, is someone even writing this shit?
I don't know. There are a lot of people. I mean, you could probably scroll to the bottom and see if there's an author name. Are you saying now is that author taking
Yeah, is that like I bet you
work or
I bet you
that
can say,
person
hey,
made
Chat
up?
GPT also at the bottom put that it was written by somebody, and then make
I
up the
feel like
fucking
if you
name.
actually took some time and like looked at the authors and stuff, you might find real people, on like LinkedIn and shit. But
posts on the metaverse or like Facebook or whatever, you ever look at those? Holy shit. It's the most like humanless brain dead stuff I've ever seen in my life.
my family on
Just
Facebook,
like-
like my
Yeah,
extended
basically.
No,
family.
not
with
even like that. Just like just stuff that's served to you for no reason
Yeah,
that you can conceive. Like,
Wait, okay, so
Like,
I
yeah.
think Poob immediately had a knee-jerk reaction. Was like, no, of course it's written by somebody. Maybe I'm interpreting this wrong. Maybe it's not that this stuff is generated by bots.
But it's
maybe-
interacted with by bots.
No, maybe just the average written article and the average thing that's written for the average person is just seems like something that a bot would write. Like,
I mean, there's a whole
they're just
other
like,
fucking world
"Oh."
out there, the way people think and stuff. Yeah, and like I'm not putting myself on a high horse of like, I'm not some scholarly dude. I'm just like you guys. I'm wearing an Arnold Palmy. Okay, but today it's funny you say that. I went on Facebook today. Every once in a while I check in on my crazy family, see how they're doing. And it looked like the most bot-written paragraph ever because my fucking crazy uncle, everyone's had to like be like, he's not our family. He tried to like do a play on the like how people say like I was today years old when I found out. I'm like already that's like God, that's so annoying.
Yeah.
But he just clearly didn't know how to do it right. And he said, I was today old when I found out. And then he said, how many, like, NDEs there are out there. And then someone commented, like, do tell, what is an NDE? Like, it looked like bots talking. And he's like, near-death experiences. You go on YouTube and look up near-death experience. There's proof of heaven and hell. If you just watch, like, there's thousands of them a day. People are constantly telling, like, I would recommend this title. Like, watch this video. He explains, like, the angels he saw when he died. And people are like, very interesting. I will check this out. And it's like, they look like robots, but, like, I fucking know that guy. Yeah. I know you, Ron. You're just fucking stupid. Like, he's just
I think
crazy.
People's accounts do get taken over, and then they like bots or something post stuff like that.
This is real ass people though. I know these people. They're my family. Like, and he's been like this for
maybe there was some sort of mass.
What? He's already a robot. Like, when we did fantasy football when I was like 10, I think he called me a slur, and then he drafted the Pittsburgh Steelers defense first pick. Went steel curtain, baby. And we're like, this guy's just crazy. Like, this guy doesn't know what's going on. And now he's still like, he's just upkept, and now he's like getting into near-death experiences, and he's talking about those a lot.
Weird.
And
how old is he?
Old? I don't know. He's my great uncle. He's probably, what's a normal age to be that old? 140?
Yeah.
I think he's like 60, probably. He's just a really crazy. I've talked about him before. He has one good trait about him, and that's at that fantasy football draft, he wore full fucking uniform, like football uniform. He doesn't know shit about football. He dresses for the occasion, like, so literally. Like, he went golfing with my uncle and my dad once, like Bagger Vance hat, fucking baggy pants, like striped shirt. Like, he just overly commits to his outfits in a really funny way. And I've always really like, like Legend of Bagger Vance, like fucking, you know, those little hats, little Scottish, little Irish fucking cap.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, like a baggy
and like
beret,
baggy fucking pants,
with a little, like a little ball on the top.
Yeah, like he just like does that bit, and I think that's funny. But that's about all I've ever taken from him. Yeah. And every birthday, he's like, I fucking love you, Sam. Happy birthday. I'm like, I haven't talked to you since I was 10 years old. No, I've got like, and his daughters are like equally crazy. And they're always like, every time I talk to my dad, I'm like, what's up with them? He's like, oh, God, don't even bring them up. Like, I don't want to talk about it. He's like, I grew up with them. You only know them like through Facebook. Like, I grew up with them. And him and all his daughters every fucking year, they're like, we love you so much. Like, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't even know you. You know, it's a weird... It's like family, you know, I guess. But,
there's always that branch of the family that when they leave a family function, you go like, what the fuck was that shit? Like, Christ.
Yeah, you never want to be that part of the family, though, because you don't know, really. They probably don't.
Well, if you know that if you don't have that person in your family, you are that person in your family. Yeah. Unless there's tears to it. If you're going to tell me right now
normal
there's tears
family,
to it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Normal family? I haven't experienced
somewhere out there. Someone's got like a normal family where everyone just gets along and they're all smart and someone in the audience.
There's not a single one. No, the problem is if they report it and be like, our family's completely normal, that means they're the weird one. They just haven't realized it yet.
There's a perfect family out there somewhere, like in the TV shows. The sitcom families out there.
Yeah, you know what happened to the Duggar family?
Never heard of them.
They had a TV show.
Is that for Merkel or something? What are you talking about? Family
No,
Matters?
it was the Duggar family. They had like a shitload of kids, and they were like really popular. And they were like a Christian family. Had like
Kate and 8 plus 8. Kate.
Yeah, basically, yeah. But it turns out that one of the Duggar kids was like raping the other kids.
I have heard it. It was like 19 kids and counting or whatever family.
Yeah, that's what it was.
There was like a lot of kids.
Yeah, there's like way too many kids. One of them had to be weird. But that's like that's of course there's gonna be a crazy family.
Well, they're not gonna make a TV show about like John and Kate plus one kid, and then they all are normal.
Saying, though, but they're like their chances of being normal after having 19 children are like astronomically low. Like you're not normal by having that many.
That's true.
Children.
You're gonna have an incestuous rapist if you have 19 kids.
I bet the dad was. I mean, there's already like theories about that. Like the dad knew about his actions beforehand and had it like silenced and stuff.
I'm a dad to a 5-year-old, and yeah, you pick up on shit. Like there's stuff that I'm concerned about with my kid, and when you keep asking about morbid stuff. Yeah, I only have
imagine
two.
if you
I guess
had
with 19,
17 more.
like, you probably
kids.
forget some of their names and go
Yeah.
like, what is that one like again?
One could really slide under the rug. You don't know what's going
Give
on.
them a fucking Starbucks gift card for
Yeah,
their birthday.
you can have
I
a
forget
kill
what they like.
shack,
Think
whatever
about
that
how
is.
many 9
What the hell do you want a chair with stirrups and shackles for, you
I
weirdo?
don't think I personally know 19 people. Like,
Yeah.
I don't talk to 19 people.
I've been
No way.
invited to a wedding in the family, and there's like a guest list of like 200. I was like, name them. Name them without looking at the paper.
Dude, I think I could do it. I think I could have a wedding that big. Not
Really?
to brag. It would be a lot of people where only I am grasping onto the friendship, where they're like, come on. But
You would invite like Freddie Wong.
no, I'm not saying I wouldn't. The
Not
only
people like
internet
that?
people I'd invite are like you guys and like
You would
people I
have
know.
200 people at a wedding?
Okay, probably not. Well, with family and dude, my family. Okay, this is less about family, but my step families are fucking massive. Specifically, one they're Irish Catholic. I've talked about them before. They got 1,000 fucking cousins. But I'm just saying, like, I'm just like I'm a nostalgic guy. I'd want to invite a bunch of my high school friends. I'd want to invite my intern friends. We still talk. Want to invite this guy I saw the other day at the golf course. This old guy gave me a cigar. Like, I'd probably invite that guy. And then just like some of my Discord friends. Yeah. That probably adds up to about, I don't know, 20. And then
20,
and then probably my wife will be like a fucking actress or something. She'll have all her coterie.
All of
All
Hollywood.
like famous friends.
Yeah, probably like Pauly Shore and like the Baldwin brothers.
Yeah.
All
I'm
the
gonna marry
Baldwins.
the actress from
Getting
Biodome.
me excited about this wedding.
It's
God damn.
It's gonna be a hoot. It's Biodome themed. I saw someone was it like Hexloom talking about that recently.
Yeah,
He's had a couple tweets recently that like reference weird shit that I like, and I've been enjoying that. I comment on all of them. Like, yeah, that movie fucking rules.
It's
for some
It's
reason
literally been Biodome and Encino Man. I think those are the two tweets. Two
Yeah,
Pauly
he had
Shore
another
movies.
one. I swear.
he's on a real Pauly Shore rip these days.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Have you seen that Joe
bad.
Rogan podcast with Pauly Shore? It's like
No,
I have no
I
interest in
want
either
to.
of those people, so no, I haven't. But I'm sure it's riveting. What are they?
It's sad. It's just like you're
bet.
seeing just a man that's just like falling out of time. Yeah.
Pauly Shore.
He just didn't get it. He was like, he was weird. Like the studios just didn't like, and the people just didn't like my character anymore.
He's a man clinging to it. Well, it would be hard to be like such a flash famous, like you're in all this shit, and then all of a sudden you're,
Yeah, not in the.
and then all of a sudden people are like, wow, I'm not 12 anymore. I don't really want to see Pauly Shore in a bunch of films.
Yeah.
So why isn't he in like a new Scorsese or something? Like, I don't know.
I feel like all those guys had like a big second wind, like
I think
Brendan Fraser.
nostalgia, yeah,
back in
like
a
it brings
big
a lot of
way.
people back.
Nick Cage back in a big way.
Brendan Fraser is
you
always
know?
a step ahead because the Mummy and stuff. He was.
You know,
Yeah, but they
Pauly
always
Shore's
they always
movie.
worked behind the scenes. Is my point.
Where's Pauly
you think
Shore's
Pauly
Monkey
isn't
Paw?
working behind the
Yeah.
scenes? He's out there making moves.
What's
what
he
do you
doing?
mean?
What's he doing out there? You guys have me gonna look up fucking
He
Pauly Shore.
He was
on
in an
IMDb.
episal of Workaholics, like
Oh,
I
okay,
want to
never
say a
mind.
couple
Yeah,
years
that's-
ago, but
Oh,
this
he
is
was?
probably like
That's
8 years ago.
industrious guy.
But it was funny because they just had him in a big glass box, and like, and if their office sold enough copies of some shit, they got to party with Pauly Shore. And he's just in the box like the whole time, like, oh, I was in Encino Man, I was in Biodome, and everyone's like, oh my god, it's Pauly Shore, and they don't get it, and he just has to fucking stay in the box or whatever. It's some stupid cameo, but I thought it was funny. He just kind of plays like a burnt out version of himself, which
He's
seems
just
like that
in
is
himself.
him. Yeah.
Always.
That is-
version of
like some like
himself.
loser burnt out version of Pauly Shore, if you can imagine
Wait,
it.
so who was he back then?
Dude, never mind. I take it back. He's a working actor. He's still doing stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's probably
doing
on
great.
Cameo.
yeah. He's probably on Cameo.
That's the
true.
guy you could probably get like a $50 cameo from. Really make Hexloom's birthday.
That's true. Yeah, you probably could.
X got us one of Gilbert Gottfried, I think.
Oh,
Yeah. Talking
Oh,
about
he's
like
gone now.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
rare now.
That's a yeah.
You could
that's
sell
a,
that.
called Decky
cameo back.
Deaky. Oh no,
That's
actually
fine.
no. Sorry, it was Shoenice. Remember Shoenice?
much
got
less
one from
cool. You go from Gilbert Gottfried, legendary comedian, to Shoenice.
Shoenice, the guy who drank glue.
Oh, that guy. Okay.
Like
Yeah.
eats like silicone caulk. I saw that one. He took like construction caulk that you'd use to like weatherproof a window. He just dumps the whole tube like in his mouth and then swallows it. Like, how do you not die from that? Like, there's chemicals and stuff in there. Wouldn't he just shit out like a plug of hardened silicone? Like,
is he the ripped one or is that a different guy?
No, he's not.
Wears a light blue hat.
Who's the rip guy that would? Oh, is Shoenice the fatter one?
Yeah.
Who's the rip guy that used to eat crazy stuff? And that one time he dunked his hand in a thing of like that shit and like froze his hand. He did like painful challenges. You guys don't know what I'm talking about?
Oh, L.A. Beast, that guy.
Yes, yeah, I think it is LA Beast. Yeah.
No,
Maybe you get a
Shoenice,
cameo from him.
I don't know who was around first, him or Shoenice, but I remember Shoenice eating more inedible objects than anyone I had ever seen before in my life. I'm talking glue, sealant, like you were mentioning
such a,
before.
like a brave thing
sand.
to get into. But kind of like
Yeah,
a
that would
desperate,
be
like it's hard to
terrifying.
be that guy. It's hard to be the jackass guys.
I can
it's hard
barely
to be
take a pill.
Yeah.
Like I can't. I don't understand. Eating like glass, all sorts of shit like that.
I've seen
It
this
takes
video.
real
I can
talent.
barely sound, and like I can't imagine, like really getting in there and doing the
Or
crazy
he would like
stuff.
slam like giant bottles of like liquor and stuff.
Yeah.
Get like crazy views on YouTube before like they would demonetize everything like that. He was a real pioneer.
You're talking about Shoenice still, right? That
Yeah.
guy, the way he drank alcohol and talked over the years, if you took like from the beginning of his time, if you took like a little section of his speech and then every year get more and more of it, he talks like a guy that has melted his mind with alcohol. Like his brain has just broken down a little bit. It's just the way at the end of his videos and stuff, he's just everything kind of blends together, if that makes sense. Like all of his words. And I'm like, you're not even
Like cursive.
inebriated.
He's drunk. And like,
Yeah, but he's like, I don't
cursive.
think he's drunk at the time. I think he's just drank
He's
enough.
probably a
that his
major alcoholic. He's probably getting a little drunk
right.
before all recordings.
fucking, it's
wet
true.
brain.
He's been keeping that hangover from happening since 2006. He's been
I think
consistently
his
drunk.
his character was just developing. He was just finding his character.
Well, his brain wasn't. Now he's some big mush man, and that's why he called Decky
Mush
Deaky.
man.
Can't even read.
You guys should have him on as a guest.
Awkward, FPS, and Deaky. Yeah. Well,
Deaky.
What the fuck would I even talk to him about? Like,
What is
Ray,
life
tell us about
funny?
that time you like ate
bottle
glue.
of
He's
glue?
like, glue,
Yeah.
glue don't taste good.
Gloom.
I would
it
just ask
sticks all
him-
your stuff together and make me hurt.
Ask him like
I would
what,
just have a list of like, how was the shit afterwards for like,
yeah.
you never give us a follow up.
So
Tell
how
us about
drunk were
shitting
you?
out like industrial caulking and stuff. Tell us about shitting out glue. What's that like?
I'd be very interested personally.
How drunk do you get after drinking a fifth of Jack and then a couple beers? So drunk. Whoa. Okay. And
I'll write that down. Yeah.
okay. 4 liters of
Most
Mountain Dew.
people
What's
would
that do
die.
about it? Yeah. It is
Okay, good to
impressive
know.
in a like. That's more of an old timey job. I feel like.
Yeah, that's like an old circus freak.
Yeah, like look, this man can drink this. It's crazy to do that in the modern age. I guess there's better like healthcare and stuff, but he probably wasn't.
Have you
going
seen
to
those
doctor.
people that just take a pair of 10 snips and they'll like eat a bicycle?
No,
Yeah.
I've never seen that in my life.
I've seen like a documentary on this guy that like he's on his own over the past 20 years. He's eaten like a better part of a plane, where like he'll take like
So
bits of
fucking
metal.
cool.
and he'll like bend it up into like a ball and like eat it.
That's awesome.
He-
He is a world devourer, and he's eating. That's an accomplishment.
He's
to
just
eat-
shitting out hunks of
but
metal and
at
it's
the end of
going into
day,
the
if
sewer.
He actually eats an entire plane. He's the only man to ever do that.
It's
ever.
definitely a boast, but like on his deathbed, he
You
like
say
what's,
that in every icebreaker.
I
What do you
guess
do?
I've
You
eaten
ate
a plane. I would stop talking to that guy immediately.
I had a whole plane over 40 years. Now I'm empty. I don't know
That's
what to
fucking
do.
unhinged. I wouldn't
Yeah.
talk to
the
that guy.
last piece in my colon right now.
Yeah.
Propeller
A
and
monumental
all
sign.
seats and airbags. Yeah, that's. I don't know how that slipped me. I've never heard of people that eat entire things like that.
It was on that
Is
show
it like
where
a fetish thing, or is it just
No, it's like a mental
Freaky
illness.
eaters or something.
Yeah, it was one of those things
like-
where like the same episode, or maybe on the next episode, the lady was eating like dog food.
Well, that's a lot more understandable than a plane.
I've eaten dog food.
Yeah. Well, have you had cat food? Because that's a little sweeter, and it's actually goes down a lot
Actually
better.
Yeah.
Oh, God, that just awoke in. When I went to the golf course yesterday, let's get back to golf, guys. What people want. No, I was in an Uber because I'm like, well, I'm probably going to pound some beers while I'm there, be responsible. And it was just stroke of luck, golf term. I looked up from my phone and there was a post like, don't want to dox myself in case this comes to fruition, 50 blocks from my house. And it had missing cat. And I only saw it for like a glance, and it looks exactly like the cat I've been feeding on my porch for like a week. And it said missing cat reward. And now I've got to I fucking forgot today, but tomorrow I got to drive over there, see if it is, and then try to trap that cat, get it back. And then, being a hero, of course, I'm going to say, no reward necessary, ma'am. Just think I'm a good guy. I give them their cat. And that's probably what I'm going to do this weekend. I don't know what you guys are up to. But
How are you going to go about catching it?
It's actually going to be incredibly hard. No, it is incredibly skittish. But it's so cute. I'm like, this is no street rat. Because there's two other stray cats, and they both are like, go on, get. Like, they're all mangy, they got, like, bugs in their head. But this cat is like, it's got, like, these tiny, cute little arms. It's got a natural white mustache on its black face. Very cute cat. Very distinguishable. And when I saw that picture, I saw black with a flash of curled white. So I got to go back and check. It could be a different cat. But how great would that be for me to save this cat, give it back to its family? But now that I talk about it, I really would be really hard to get it. Maybe I would just call them and be like, you can come stake out my house or something. Maybe I'll come to them. I don't know.
Hey, you want to hear like a huge social blunder I had in a very similar situation?
Oh, God, you killed a cat. You used a bear trap or something? Or a coyote trap?
No, it's literally just a social thing because I'm not, we've talked about it. I'm not good at picking up like social cues and stuff. This, no. I had new neighbors that moved in just down the road. Hadn't met them yet. And they came pulling up to my house. We were outside in the front yard. They rolled down the window and they're like, have you seen a big Irish wolfhound? It just ran away. And we're like, it's gone. We just moved in.
Awesome
and like,
dogs.
And they're afraid the dog's going to run away and not like know how to get back home.
That dog will be fine. Those are survivors. They fought wolves before that. Yeah.
Well,
there's gators and shit down there, I guess.
That's true. Yeah. But they were basically in tears. And I took that time my brother was standing there and I was just like, oh, you guys are the new neighbors. How you liking the place? Like, I was like, and they're like, obviously, like, dude, we have to go. Like, the dog just got out, and like, I was like, hold on, you're like upset
for a second. Yeah.
You want some lemonade or something? We're about to fire up the grill.
Preheat the oven. We got
my
company.
My brother actually like touched my shoulder and was like, dude, like, let them go. They are like on the hunt right now. They basically stopped by to just do like, keep your eye out for this dog.
Yeah, you might be autistic or something. I don't know.
What's the rush, neighbor? Jesus.
A dog. That's just like furniture
today.
Yeah. But anyways, we ended up seeing it or something, and we ended up going back to their house, and they were like, oh my God, don't worry, we found it. They
so
like I had
probably
seen it.
Your social cues. You saw it in its backyard, and you're like, oh my God, I gotta go tell them.
Yeah.
Bang, bang, bang.
No, I think we like saw it like running down a certain way or something, and we went to go like tell them about it, and then they had already collected it by those people at that time. Yeah. But I never spoke to them again. Although I did see the guy pushing like a riding lawn or pushing like a push mower, and he was trying to like push it down into the ditch and cut some long vines and shit that were down there, and there happened to be a ground hornet's nest in the same spot.
God, that's a nightmare.
Yeah,
so
and
scary.
so I saw this guy running with a lawnmower tailing behind him that was still on, and he's just doing that whole thing.
Come talk.
And of course I stopped him. I rolled down my window. I was like, hey, dude, how you doing, man? You enjoying the new place?
Wait, stop running. I gotta ask you something.
And
You catch the game last night?
I was like, geez, these new neighbors are inconsiderate, hurt people. They're all about brevity. They just
bunch of
what happened to
sticklers.
neighborly behavior? You know, this is what happened to the U.S. We're afraid to talk to our neighbors now. But
Where's my
be
dog?
from
Can
the
I get
big
some
city.
sugar?
yeah,
Can I borrow some ingredients from you guys? A couple eggs, some sugar, some flour, some milk.
It's okay. It's okay. I'll wait right here. I'll wait.
I've definitely. Have I talked before about how my our horses used to run away, and like we were the only people in our town with miniature horses. So of course, like 911 would come up and be like, "Your horses are fucking on the other side of town. Like you got to get them." Because like people are disarmed by miniature horses, but they're also like they don't like other people. Yeah, it's like a weird thing to see in your yard when you just like it's a town full of people that like don't come, like mind your own business. And yeah, they'd always be like, "Oh my God, your fucking horses are out again! Like they went across the highway. You gotta get them." It's miraculous they were never hit by a car and killed the car because
that
they're
would
like
have killed like a whole family.
well, they're like they're only like this tall. Ow,
yeah, that's like hitting
I just
a
put my hand
deer
right over that plant, that fire. They're like
exactly yay high.
They're I don't know. They're like 3 feet tall, but they're like probably 400 pounds because they're just fat little girls. And yeah, they never were killed though, luckily. And my mom also had a pig that was like a problem because it would break. It was like, you know, pigs are actually really smart. And it would go to people's houses and those little like basement windows and shit, it would like break them for some reason. And it was just like a really nosy pig.
Dude, you guys sucked as neighbors.
Oh, they're horrible. We're horrible.
Yeah, you had a herd of miniature horses.
It was one
that would...
woman with a bunch of wild animals and beasts. And the pig
breaking and entering pig.
Yeah. And then I was going around, you know, causing trouble.
You get loose.
Yeah, I get loose. I tell you, if I got out of the house, I'm down the road in 20 seconds. If you don't put a lead around my face and tie me to a tree, I'm fucking gone. Like, I'm out of there.
Your son again.
I'm kicking around. I'm breaking into storm drains. They have to tell the cops who's a pig. Like, there's a whole thing. But, yeah, I guess we...
urinating on my front door.
Yeah, I guess we are. It's like in Malcolm in the Middle when they're like, why is the neighborhood so awful? And then they realize, like, they have a block party every year when they go on vacation because like everyone fucking hates them. Like we probably were that family where it's like, oh Jesus Christ! Like,
you know, once again, another parallel. When in the neighborhood growing up, like we were,
you really were a nightmare. Like every story you've told, you were just a bad kid. But.
They never had a block party the entire 20 years I grew up there. The fucking day we left, they literally had the first ever block party the moment we left.
A parade went through town.
Yeah, it was insane. Yeah. And like also, by the way, the whole like escaping animals thing, I had a childhood dog that I thought was great because it's your childhood
15 pit bulls.
it was this asshole mutt that would like it. I remember we had the Comcast guy come over to like fix the internet, and it literally jumped up. It would never growl because then he was like, "I don't get to bite him if I growl." You know, they know I'm about to bite, so he would quietly like just wait for the opportunity, and he jumped up and bit the Comcast guy like on the end of the dick and like wouldn't let go. Like he was just an asshole. But
did you have to put him down?
Nah, he's a good boy.
Sounds a great dog.
He would sit there and wait at the door, so when you opened it, he would just run out. He would be gone, and you couldn't like get him back. And every time this lady would call the house and be like, "Hey, Bert's out again. Bert's roaming the neighborhood," and we were always like, "Who fucking cares, lady?" She's like, "I'm allergic to dogs," which we knew was bullshit.
Let him in your house.
She has like 6 dogs that she would walk on leashes all the time. Like she looked like a dog walker.
I'm allergic to dogs and fat little kids. Keep them off my yard, bitch.
No, the problem was the dog would like attack people. Like we were those people that.
Yeah, that's awful. Our
just
pig and
horrific.
Horses never went off on a rampage.
No, well, I mean, your pig broke into.
Well, breaking and entering is a lot different than breaking in and killing and assaulting. You know,
true.
It was just curious, just very curious.
Yeah, I just didn't realize till I got older. I'm like, dude, like having a dog just roam a neighborhood without a leash or anything. What the fuck?
You know, a shocking turn of fate for that pig. I think a free roam pig doesn't do too well in coyote territory after a certain amount of time.
Did it get got?
I think that's what it was like when I was like 6, so I don't really remember it. But
wait, you never finished that. What would it do when it broke into a?
I think it would just break shit. Like it was. I don't know why my mom has like been adamant about like she had to pay for several people like their storm windows or something. Like it had like an affinity for those like low windows. Like it get in the little hole and just like break shit and then just run away. It was just like a nightmare.
Is this like Babe,
a
big in the
pig.
city
No,
kind
like
of pig, or like a Dark Souls pig? Like
it was like a potbelly pig where I think a lot of people like my mom was just known as that chick has a bunch of animals. So like if there was like an animal people couldn't take care of or they just found, they'd just drop it off at our house. So I think it was probably like a Babe in the City pig if it grew up in the woods. So Babe in the Woods.
Yeah, okay.
It's not really fun. We don't have like a farm or anything. Like that's the weird. Also, it's weird. Those horses, they are still very much alive. They still run around and stuff. Like these horses are probably 20 years old by now.
How long does a horse live? It's like a dog,
I thought it was like it's like 25 years or something.
Oh.
But I'm now starting to like they don't seem like they're slowing down. Like, am I going to inherit some horses or what? Like, actually, it's weird though. I'm very
when does a
like
miniature horse start looking old?
When my parents, I don't know. They look older. Like they're noticeably. They look older, but they still, like, you let them out of their thing, they just run around. They're funny. Like, they're just funny. Like, they don't do anything. They don't serve a purpose. But I guess they kind of mow the lawn. Yeah. Like, they're just like an oddity to have. And I've always, like, now I'm very, like, if I ever end up living in that house or something, like, I feel like I'm going to have to get miniature horses one day or, like, some odd animal. Them? No. You could, but I wouldn't try. The only time they ever bit me. No, I never rode them. We used to have a little wagon that you could hook them both up to, and we had a trailer for them, but my mom sold them both because she's like, we're not going to fucking take these. Where are we going to take the horses?
Yeah.
And one time I was like showing off to my friends in high school because it's like all I've got. I'm like, look, we got miniature horses. Like, that's weird, right? That's cool. So when people would come over, I'd be like, I bet you never seen these. I sure haven't. And one time I'm like, yeah, they're like my little girls. Like, I love these. I love them. And I gave one of them a hug. And I think I had it was like the first time, like, you know, the girls weren't there for me. Like, my hot friends were there or something. But like, there was a couple of girls over. I'm like showing off, like, oh, look, my baby horse. And it turned around and just fucking like grabbed the side of me and bit me. And I like screamed out. And then they run off and shit. And then since then, I'm like, we're cool. Like, I don't have to pet you. Like, I like you. I like looking at them. But one of them got off, like, I went and visited, like, 2 weeks ago. And one of them, like, I accidentally let them out without the lead. And my mom's like, well, you got to catch her. I'm like, I think they might fucking kill me. Like, they can still kick. Like, I don't like to mess with them. They kind of got their own system going on over there. They like my mom. And
horse law.
Yeah, horse law. Like, a horse is a hard to read animal. Their ears go back. They're mad. Their ears go up.
They're trying to go fast.
Yeah.
I mean, like, what the hell?
It is really cute when when spring hits and you let them out and they run around and stuff. I also kind of want to get a sheep one day. I think I want to get a sheep. And
maybe continue this, like,
I think it should be. I think it should be
animal tradition.
I think it deserves to be continued because, like, the house wouldn't feel the same without a bunch of. I just had a picture on my an
emu
Snapchat memories where it's like the most active fucking front yard. There's like 10 chickens, like 3 dogs and 2 horses, and I just captured it all. I'm like, this is
your
right.
House, that guy from Dude, Where's My Car with like,
oh, that's a great movie.
Around.
Yeah,
do you have like Andy Dick in a cage?
No, I don't know.
No,
it's just, see, the problem is, I think without my mom, it would all fall apart. So, like, if she's dead when I do this, I'm going to be, like, living in a nightmare, probably. I'm going to, like, be like, oh, yeah, you just get a horse and you let it off, and they kind of stay on. I don't know why now they know to just stay on our property. But, like, I don't know how to teach that to a horse or a sheep.
Yeah, like, would she do any, like,
no, we've never trained. No,
when they would come back from.
It's just all like some sort of weird. That's like people when they show up, they're like, my house it's got like a magical feel. My mom's house, like it feels like a fairy garden or something with all the little creatures, and it's cool. But I think that magic will die when my mom dies. So
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and when I get it, I'm gonna turn it into like this kind of industrial, like metal and gothic
Add a
and like
smokestack.
yeah, coal mines and shit. I'm gonna frack the horse pasture.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna
strip mine the backyard.
Yeah. There's jewels under this house. Yeah, steamroll the house over that she's built her whole life. Crush that down. Yeah, go ahead and get a new foundation. Maybe put up like one of those 10 houses or something.
I saw a guy that's a holdout. Have you ever seen those like that movie Up? Like there are people that like a city.
I've seen Up. That movie rules.
A city that builds around an old residential area, and they refuse to sell. This guy's a holdout that I think his mom gave him her house.
It's really sad when you see those houses.
Yeah,
but it's cool because it's like, they didn't want this, all this fucking development. Like they were never promised that shit.
Yeah,
but.
This guy's living in one, and he has decided instead of like, I don't know, but like his version of doing weird shit instead of like getting a bunch of animals is he just did a full ass excavation of his property, like what a anthropologist would do or whatever. Like he meticulously through like with little shovels and brushes tore down his entire. He has just like a regular square city lot, has brought it down to bedrock. By slowly bringing out bucket after
doing the reverse of Up. He's going down.
He's digging. And so
dig her into the earth.
His house is just here, and then the foundation just goes down, 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 where he's dug down, and he's just like, I don't know, like the rock, the bedrock that he's hit is like super uneven, so his whole property is just like an ankle breaker waiting to happen, and he just kind of like digs around in there. And I'm like, to what end? That you just look at it and go like, That guy's
having fun.
Nah, yeah, I was about to say that guy's
lost
broken.
His fucking mind.
He's lost his mind.
I don't know what he already knows of some like gold down there, so he's looking for something. I'd wait that bastard out to die, and then I'd buy that house and continue fracking and destroying until you find what he was looking for.
No, I think he's finished. I think it's completely like he's removed every bit of foreign soil off of that lot. It is just rock
what
in
his
house.
end goal was to just make his house look horrible, so they don't want to buy it anymore, and
I don't know.
They quit asking. So I'm not like just looking at my phone. I was going to actually try to find that picture to put in here. Of all my animals running around.
Yeah, we were talking earlier about relations with neighbors and stuff, and how I've botched every relationship I've had with any of my neighbors. But, you were a city boy.
Yeah,
but now you're in the burbs. Do you have a good rapport with your neighbors?
All of a sudden, now that like COVID is less of a thing, we're starting to, which is very nice, actually. We went to a little Cinco de Mayo party that we actually were invited to. That was exciting.
To be human.
As soon as I got there, they like had like this like tail end of like a bottle of vodka that was going around for like margaritas and stuff, and like they just dumped the whole thing in my glass, so that turned into like a triple real fast, and like it made me a bit more drunk than I like to be with my new like people that I'm trying to impress and not appear to be like super strange around. And we don't have kids or anything. Like most people have kids around. They're like, why don't you have kids? What the fuck? What's wrong with you?
You have a very disarming demeanor anyway, and you don't need to worry about that. You're
disarming, like in a bad way? Or
like you just seem, you just like, I don't know, maybe it's because I already knew you or whatever, but like when I met you, I'm instantly like, oh, this isn't weird at all. Like you just put out good vibes, you just.
That's nice. Thank you.
So you're just a nice guy. I don't know. I don't know to. I want to fuck you.
I don't know what the basic like flight or fight response is or whatever, but from Aqua, I get like the most. I feel like if you meet,
get on my knees.
No, like the first 30 seconds, like this guy is not a threat. Like he is. There's no chance in hell.
Well, now you're making it sound like he's not intimidating at all, but I feel like
I want to nasty.
Yeah. I want to see Aqua strike somebody. I just don't feel like he's got it in him.
I struck someone once,
and they killed that kid.
Strike heard around the playground.
What did they do? Did they like shoot your dog or something? Was it your John Wick moment?
This kid it was third grade. There was some kind of weird little kid fight club going around on the there was like, it was like street gangs, except like no weapons, we were keeping it classy. Yeah. Maybe a stick would be picked up,
broken bottle.
I wasn't really like affiliated with any particular group, I remember, but my good friend was, and I was kind of like doing a ride along one day, if you will, and all of a sudden shit went down. There was a brawl happening on the playground, like out of nowhere. And this kid, his name was Simon. Simon was a real piece of shit. He like got me in like a headlock somehow and just started pulling my hair like a fucking psycho, like as hard as he could. And let me tell you, that hurt.
Yeah, it hurts.
I had hair like coming out of my head for days afterwards. And I just gave him one, like, it was like, I didn't want to do it.
Like
I'm a lover, not a fighter, but
like just like one death punch.
A serious death punch, like One Punch Man. I haven't seen that, but
it's great.
PKA guys were talking about it. But I gave him one of those in his like little kid tummy, and man, he just keeled over and like just couldn't breathe for a while. And then I got in so much trouble. I like got sent home. Everybody yelled at me. I was like, you were just pulling my hair out.
Yeah.
Look at that, like pulling clumps of hair out of my head.
I hated how the
bad
teachers
guy.
would show up and just see who was the most hurt, and then whoever
was
like
the
they
least hurt. Defend the
they,
bully for some reason.
They always defend the person that was the least hurt. Yeah.
Yeah. They
Who's
do
the
no
bully
detective
when it's
work.
me. Okay, when they say something to me.
Oh no, they defend the person that's the most hurt. I'm sorry. Even if the person that got fucked up started it.
I'm gonna post the picture. I think finally. Jesus Christ! Sorry that took so long. Right, still I got no internet down here.
Oh.
Look at this breadth of creature.
Yeah, it's just like there's a lot going on there. Big dog.
Wow, those
chicken.
horses are really small.
It's
like
also
the
quite
size
a
of
large dog. Yeah, so it's kind of hard to read. It's like a 110-pound red lab, and then
a chicken is the size of a normal dog.
Yeah, chicken's the size of a chihuahua. Dog's the size of a really small miniature horse. Miniature horse is the size of a big miniature horse. We actually did used to have a man miniature horse that was the size of a really small pony. He was big. His name was Caesar, but he was ill-tempered. We used to have a game we'd play where we'd get on the fence posts around their pen, and your feet would be like in it in your hands, and you'd shuffle around. You'd try to make it around the whole thing without him like grabbing your toes. It was fun. He was cool. He was a cool guy, but he was trying to bang the chick horses too much and get them pregnant, so we had to get rid of them to a happy horse farm.
This photo, it would be funny if you just had like a little midget in there somewhere. Like a human midget just standing amongst all the animals.
When you said
there's
man
a bunch
horse,
of
I
gnomes.
pictured like a weird,
like a centaur.
Well,
we did just have a couple satyrs and centaurs around. When I say it's a magical place, I'm not exaggerating. It's quite the fauna there. They've got mystical beings.
Yeah. Cryptids walking around.
And ever since I left there, my life force has been depleting, and I've seen less magic in the world, less gnomes and fairies and whatnot. Now I live in the big city, Indianapolis. That's what they call it. The suburbs of Indianapolis, the big city. One day I'll be with you, Aqua. Probably your neighbor. Probably with you, probably in your home.
I used to have this neighbor in the city that
got a million neighbors.
Maybe the craziest person I've never known in real life, like closely. You know? And she was like she was almost like a prepper type, but in an apartment sort of thing. Like she had all these
like
a weird place.
I know. Like if things are happening, like you're in New York City right now, you're going to be like incinerated instantly.
That's not a typical prepper location.
But, no, not at all. But I remember she had like this crazy like industrial water filter, and then also she had like a net over her bed, like a mosquito net, just like an actual net, like not like anything that's like airtight or anything. And,
and I was like a big like pirate net.
Yeah, it was just like as if there were like a million bugs.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I was like, she like invited me into her apartment sometime for something to like give me something, and I was like looking at this net, and she's like, "Don't mind the net." I'm like, what?
It's hard.
I wasn't gonna say anything.
Was
She's
it a
it protects me from the Wi-Fi? No,
okay.
no, it was to protect her from the Wi-Fi. Apartment.
Oh, she was ahead of the curve on Wi-Fi and 5G, and
It
when
was
she
like
3G was out at the time, she's like, one day 5Gs.
yeah. It was
Crazy.
She was probably my favorite neighbor that I've had back to the.
It's not. It's good to have
that.
it's good to meet eclectic people
so
like
nice.
that.
She was like super nice, but she had like terrible OCD. And like I had OCD like that when I was a kid, but like she would be like stuck outside, like locking and unlocking her door like a million times, and like being like. She would just like look so frustrated to have to like do that in front of me again.
Yeah.
And then I'd be like, listen, I had the same thing when I was a kid. Like, I totally get it. Like, I don't know. She was super nice, but it was interesting.
One of my best friends has gotten, like, he smokes so much, it's like, people that smoke weed. I don't know if it's like with you guys, but like I had a lot of friends that started smoking like really early. And it's like more of those people where it's like back when I would be like, no way, like get that away from me. Like, I don't know, 4th, 5th grade. And then it's like at a point they hit a block where they hit that, like you hear about, like they just become wildly paranoid when they smoke weed and stuff. And that happened to my friend in college. And now he's like out of nowhere, it seems like, has to do that where he locks the door a bunch and we'll be outside. And I'll be like, he'll be like, do you know if I turned off the stove? I'm like, dude, I've no, like, you obviously, why would you have turned it on? Like, let's just go. And he's like, no, I gotta check in the back door. And he had to get to the point where he has to take videos of everything. So when we're out, he can like check them and be like, okay, I definitely did. It's like a weird paranoia and like OCD about that kind of stuff. Dude, and anytime I'd fuck with him and be like, no, dude, I think I heard it ticking. He'd be like, don't say that. Like, now I really got to check. I'm like, God damn it. Like, I was just fucking around.
A lot of those psychological issues, they pop up in your early 20s, like bipolar disorder and stuff like that, and like OCD.
Yeah, I've been
like,
getting
you don't
some
see a lot of
lately.
young kids with OCD. That was strange.
I had it bad as a kid. Yeah.
Sorry.
And then it became like
manageable.
It just kind of like went away. I don't know. It just over time like went like it was honestly so bad. Like I would have to like when I would talk as a kid, I would have to like say something and then like remouth it silently again.
Whoa.
Or I don't know why. And like everything had to be like 3, 3, 3. Everything in 3. Yeah.
People thought you had a weird stutter because you'd talk 3 times. Like, this is really weird. Like, you're saying the whole sentence.
I didn't say it audibly more than once, but I would like say something and then like I'd be like ashamed.
That's awesome.
So I'd have to. It sucked.
Not
dude.
awesome
My
like that, but like
jaw-
that's just so weird. That's just like I love little shit like that where it's just like you're just human, weird shit happens.
Oh, it was so annoying though. Like my jaw would hurt like all the time because of like I was just like constantly talking because like I would have to repeat.
I know what that's like
forever. Yeah.
Yeah, man. My jaw's so sore from that talking. That's what's sore from in my throat, the back of my throat. Yeah. The only time I do like weird silent talking, I used to do more, but like if I'm in the car and someone's like walking across or something, I'm like, go ahead. And I'm like, they can't hear me. Like I always talk. Yeah. But like it's such a small audible level where I'm like, no one can hear you. And it's like sometimes when someone does hear you, they're like, what? Like if someone's in the car, so I'm like, oh, nothing. Yeah. Or like, yeah, or if I'm talking to someone across the street, like I'm not actually talking to them. But like I'll say something under my breath and then I catch myself. I'm like, why the fuck did I say that?
I have like a full ass conversation with someone as if they're there. Like while I'm driving. Like if someone starts creeping into my lane, I'm just like, who the fuck do you think? Like,
I get road rage. In a
no,
way,
I don't get mad, but I'm just like, I'm keeping an eye on this fucking guy. He's going all over the place. Like, I'm just talking to myself as if I'm talking to somebody else.
That's because you're like a YouTuber, probably.
Is that what it is? I'm just
I would assume.
live reacting to the world.
Yeah.
You're practicing for your streams, yeah.
That's what it
Yeah.
is.
This guy's like, you're doing little bits
Yeah.
and stuff.
Oh, my asshole hurts. Oh, you get the new
I draw
iPhone?
his face on my hand.
You
Reenact what
sketch
he would
them
say.
perfectly, and then you take them. I own you. Yeah, just normal stuff people do. Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about your childhood OCD. I used to have asthma really bad, and then when I was thinking about it, I was like, I didn't have like asthma really bad. I think a lot of the times that I would complain about my asthma, it was just I didn't want to do athletic shit that my family was trying to get me to do.
God.
And so I got the diagnosis from the doctor, and I was like, boom.
Lazy.
Yeah, that was like, I don't know if you guys have seen Dexter's Lab, but he gets a gym I think it's like a gym class.
I remember that one. Yeah.
Excuse card from his doctor, and he has it like hermetically sealed, like on a little pillar and a podium.
Oh yeah.
And like I kind of felt that way, like whenever we had to do some long hike or some bullshit, I would just be like,
Look at you now, though. You look great. You've been like working out or something, or like
I don't have any
new glasses or something. You got something
You got a
good
glow
going
to you.
on.
You get a
You
blowjob
look
before this or
great.
something? What's
Yeah.
going
I
on?
haven't had a fucking
What's wrong with
blowjob
you?
in weeks. What the
man.
fuck? I'm pissed.
Well, have you
But,
eaten pussy in weeks? Because you can't ask for everything without some give, man. Come on.
No, I'm
Come on,
fine
brothers
here.
out there going, don't be selfish. Come on.
Yeah.
The closest thing to the athletics, I've probably talked about this before because I talk about everything fucking before, but I did track and field in 8th grade because it was like the in thing to do in 7th grade, and I didn't do it because I'm like, you can go. I hate running. I hate I like sports where it's like there's like I love soccer, but I don't like just running for fun. I've always been like, that's the dumbest sport in the world. But it became like a thing to do where like, you can have 100 fucking kids on a track team. So like everyone was doing it. So I'm like, oh fuck, I'll do it. And keep in mind, in 8th grade, I'm probably 4'11", 5 feet tall. Like I'm a tiny little guy.
Yeah, I was like the small guy too.
Yeah,
I was like real tiny. Yeah.
And so to get out of running, I joined the discus team because they're like, we need people for discus. And I'm like, I'll do it. And I'm like, not you, but fuck. What? They couldn't say no to me. So I went over and practiced discus throw at 5 feet. Be like, cha-ching. I was over there with like the cool big guys. And then anytime they'd be like, Sam, like, you're not going to do discus at a meet. Like, you need to go practice running. I'd always say, like, I want to practice starting off blocks. I'll be like, Coach, I'm really bad at starting off blocks. Can I practice blocks instead of just running and working out?
Run, yeah.
And so I'd be like, oh, I'd fake do blocks just by myself for a while. And then every track meet, shocker, I'm wildly out of shape. I don't know how to start off blocks. And I just get fucking creamed where I'm like a fourth of the way through the fucking lap and people are 90% of the way through. Like really humiliating, actually horrible for my self-esteem performances. And now one reoccurring gag, I've definitely talked about this for my whole fucking life. There's some damning photos. This actually gets me worked up. I can't get too into this because the photos they claim are damning. There's 2 of them. One of them, it looks like this guy and I are neck and neck. The other photo, it's a side view. It's that famous in Sam in the Discord, like that picture of me sprinting.
Yeah.
And it makes me look faster. I'm clearly ahead of the guy in the second photo, right before the finish line. This kid's got like a bone disease where he, like, if he falls over, he fucking breaks all his bones. But he's got bird bones.
Disease.
Yeah, and people would be like, shit on me so hard for years about, like, you got beat by that kid with bone disease. And I'd always be like, he's got bird bones. Like, he's lighter. Like, his steps probably take him off the ground. Like, he's probably bounding.
He probably
He
springs.
was flying.
Yeah,
there.
and like I fucking
How
beat
does he
him.
not shatter his
I got
leg
second last.
when
I got
he's
second
running?
last. I don't know. I'm not a goddamn
I feel
doctor.
like cardio like that,
Well,
like high impact
there were
cardio.
He had a bone disease, but there was a kid in our school who literally had like glass bone, like that SpongeBob character where he broke bones every year from minor stuff. He wasn't on the track team. So maybe it was like a different thing. Maybe he had a heart disease or something. He has, we're just ignorant kids. we just knew he had something, so you shit on him. You know, we're just dicks.
You're
and
fucked
then
up.
I just got shit on. Yeah, I mean, it was in 8th grade.
You're not put together like us.
Yeah, you're different. You're different. You know, kids are fucking cruel.
Yeah.
And even like 4 years later at graduation, when he walked across the thing, people were like sending me Snapchats like, this kid kicked your ass in fucking 8th grade track and field. And it's like a stain. Like, you can ask any of my IRL friends about it. And they're like, oh, that kid with the bone disease that beat Sam in the fucking 100-meter dash. I was just I'm like that slow. But I don't think anymore. You know, I could.
How are you that slow? You're so long-legged.
No, okay, this is what I'm talking about. 8th grade, I was fucking.
What about now? Do you think
I was
you could
3
do
years
well?
out from hitting puberty.
I've never lost a foot race.
You've talked about that. You'd probably beat me. I don't think I definitely, when I did soccer in high school, after that, I lost all my baby fat and I actually had to work out. And I will claim for myself, okay? A lot of kids, to make varsity standards, there was a cheat you could do. You had to run a 2-mile under 15 minutes. And there was a part in the woods where the coaches couldn't see. Every one of the kids fucking take this shortcut, shave off 2 minutes. They waited, 10 seconds, make it seem real, then run out. I'd never do it. My pride wouldn't allow me. So it took me like 80% of the first season to make varsity. But I got a lot of respect from that later in life where people are like, I remember you. You never. Does it mean anything now? No, I should have just fucking beaten it because everyone else did. And I would have had a lot more fun. But no, I was slow as fuck. I've definitely. The goal, I don't know if you guys have like a golden.
Joke on that gum.
I shouldn't be chewing gum while doing a talking podcast. That's on me.
I was about to say, dude, I've been hearing you smack that shit.
I'm sorry. My roommate gave me.
It seemed like he was like actively choking.
That thing was like swirling the drain.
I'm also very prone to choking. I've choked many times in my life, but my roommate gave me nicotine gum. Yeah, so I was like chewing that up, see what it's all about. It's like my fifth piece, and fuck. Now I've completely lost my thought.
Let me tell you something. In school. Okay, go for it.
No, I was going to ask as opposed to question too, like, do you guys have like a golden god of your school? Like a golden, like, he's the fucking best at everything. He's the hottest. He's the smartest.
We had that kid 100%. I remember I brought my skateboard to school one time and I was showing off. All right. I was showing off. I mean,
why not?
Bit.
It's a cool thing to do.
Skateboarding in the cafeteria,
In the cafeteria, you're really showing off.
Yeah.
Grinding on the tables.
It was it's literally getting the secret tape like out of the lunch lady's like fucking little house behind the counter
where they live.
Wherever she lives. But I was doing some skateboarding and this kid just walks up like he was like the captain of all the sports teams and all this shit like. And like he was like, "Whoa, how'd you do that?" And I'd be like, I just explained it to him, like how to do an ollie, and he stepped on the skateboard and did it instantly.
That's so I'd kill that kid.
It took me a year to learn how to do it.
That's worse.
He literally did it like second or third try. It was so fucking
nice?
Annoying.
Was he nice?
Yeah, no, he was super nice, super cool
that's
guy.
Word. That is bad, because. My
like
golden
Ferris
child,
Bueller type.
Everybody loved him.
My golden kid, like, there's nothing I can say bad about the guy. I've always prayed. I've never seen it. It's probably not. I've always hoped he had a small dick. No idea if he does. But he's like, he's not only, it sounds like I'm in love with this guy. I'm not in love with this guy. Okay, everyone knows it from our school. He's good. He's the only kid that went to like a really good school. He's a doctor now.
Everyone knows I don't actually love him.
He was the captain of the soccer team. He was, and worst of all, really nice guys. Parents super nice, and they're like sleeper millionaires, like the only people in our town that are like wealthy. And he was the guy that like got me through the 2-mile because he like sacrificed his own time one time to like stay behind me and tell me stories. And then the final stretch, he was like physically pushing me, and I was gagging the whole time, like the whole last stretch. I'm like just dry heaving. And I made it through because of him.
He was spinning yarn while you were.
Yeah, no, he was like walking, like he was fucking walking. I'm like, can you just be an asshole? It'll make me feel so much better about what don't you have? Now he's got like the oddest girlfriend ever. He's so cool. I saw him at the bars a couple months ago. He's doing great, except for that he lives in Indianapolis. If you can take that as a bad thing. Yeah. And he's like a philanthropist or something.
Just like a millionaire in Indianapolis. His life probably sucks. Yeah.
I did get to see him get really drunk when I went out with him, which was nice. I'm like, he's human. Because he got to the point of drunk where he's like, I was like, I'm not even that drunk, so I can. I'm also a little taller than him, so he doesn't have it all.
You are pretty tall, surprisingly tall.
Don't blow my.
Good job.
If it makes you feel any better, that
we're all pretty tall here. It's a pretty tall podcast. Yeah.
Dude, honestly, we've lucked out. There hasn't been any short freaks among us.
Because it'd make me uncomfortable.
It would. Like I've made fun of Lettuce being so small, and then I realized he's not small. He's just wide. He's just like
he's pretty short. He's like 5'4". 5'3".
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
That's what I keep saying on my stream because he's pissing me off getting into Twitch rivals.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's older than I thought he was.
5'3", 40, 400-pound bench.
Have you seen that guy walk up a flight of stairs? He's big. He's got no cardio in his body.
He just rolls up the stairs.
Yeah, he's got. I mean, all I'd have to do is hit him in the back of the head with a bat and run. And what is he gonna do? What's all that working out done for him? You know, so I got a little bit of car. I ride a bike. You know, I don't know what he's got, but. God,
he's
got a better
told me
mustache
several times. Like the way he works out is so unhealthy.
Every time he mentions, he is very upfront about like, oh, I am not a healthy person. Like I am bad. I'm just meat and bones. Like I'm gonna live till 40. I'm like, okay, man. Like that's horrible.
Yeah, he's like, I'm big, but I am not healthy.
Like, you seem healthy enough. Like he's got to be at least a baseline above. I don't know, probably not. All those pills he takes to get boners and stuff, and
yeah. That weird
stuff like that.
And how short he is. Short people don't live that long, or actually, they live longer.
They live
they live longer.
But not him. No, not him. Yeah. He's lucky. His heart's so tiny or so compact, or whatever short people have. What benefit they have?
Less circulation.
Yeah.
To go around.
Then he has ruined it by becoming so wide because now his circulation's working horizontal, which isn't good for the body. I'd imagine.
That's not
I'm
good.
not a
Yeah,
doctor. I'd have to ask the golden kid at my school. He's a doctor. I'd have to ask him. Show him a picture of Lettuce. How old will he live? Yeah, how old will he be?
This guy healthy? The way he works out.
I do. No, that's horrible. I was trying to say, I do wonder if this golden kid, you could just have a brain aneurysm or something. You know, it could be.
Okay, that's a little.
Yeah, it's a little dumb. I wouldn't wish that on him. He's actually a really good friend. He's a really nice guy.
Jesus.
But it could happen. It could happen to anyone. Probably people like that more.
You were talking about how you would just do like the blocks when you were like doing your track.
Yeah.
I remember we had like this like 3-month unit or something like that. A very long time in like gym class, like in early high school, where like we just went to like the weight room, like the school gym or whatever, where like the sports teams would like work out and stuff.
Yeah.
They just shoved us in there with no direction, no anything to do.
They do that.
And I remember
That's stupid.
I like did not want to spend time in there or participate. And I wanted to participate as little as possible.
Classic.
So I literally just did bicep curls in the corner for like 4 months straight. And all of a sudden I like looked at my arms. I was like, oh my God, like my biceps were fucking huge. I was like a skinny little kid with huge biceps.
Like SpongeBob and the muscle, arm muscles,
Literally,
walk around on your fucking knuckles.
It was so fucked up. Yeah,
that's really sweet. Funny. I got out of it. I did yoga for 3 years in high school because you could do gym or yoga. So me and one of my friends just found out, like, you can take yoga and then it's like us and a bunch of chicks and the yoga teacher. She had her own whole drama going on. She was getting her husband was the athletic director. He was cheating on her with a volleyball coach or something. There's a lot of, she was frazzled and she was pregnant and very easy to just be like, you mind if we go play tennis? She'd be like, I don't care. So we took yoga for 3 years and I can't touch my toes because I didn't even do yoga.
I can't either.
I would just go out and be like, can we go to play tennis? And she'd be like, yeah, it's fine. We just go play tennis. And it was like the best, it was the easiest. But the gym teacher very quickly caught on and he never, he's like a fucking meathead. I've talked to him about, he's like, you got a teacher, you're kind of like, you got like that, like Ferris Bueller teacher. Like you got that dynamic where you're enemies, but it's weird because you're a child and they're a teacher. I had that with the gym teacher who was also the wrestling coach, where like he just hated me. he hated my guts for the entirety of high school. Hated my stepdad, who was a teacher there, probably through proxy. 2 hot daughters he had. I was friends with both of them. I probably pissed him off more. His wife loved me. But, like, we butted heads all the time. And, I mean, probably rightly so. I was kind of a dick. But he's, like, the only teacher that's ever had, like, full-on tantrums where they're, like, screaming at me. He was also, like, a roid rage dude, so he got flustered quickly. Beat red in a heartbeat. But there's several instances where he was, like, full-on screaming at me. And I'm like... but like, this guy could literally just, like... I wasn't even a bad boy. I was just, like, being obnoxious and being like, is this guy really yelling at me right now about, like skipping out on yoga to skip out on weightlifting? Like, one time, he called me... He was like, you are the most sarcastic kid I've ever known in my life. You're the biggest smartass in the world. I was like, really? Like, I'm the... biggest,
oh, that's how you...
Yeah, I'm like,
really?
I'm like, oh, really? Well, actually, I'm sure, yeah. And he's like, "Ah!" Like, he just wanted to hit me. I could tell. Like, this guy just wanted to fucking punch. He could punch right through my heart. And that probably frustrated him because he knew, like, I could rip this kid's head off, like, very easily.
I can't because rules.
And, yeah, like, one time I was like, can I use your weight room instead of going to yoga? Because the teacher's like, you can't play tennis. I'm like, well, I'll go to the weight room and just jerk off in there. And at the end of it, I was like, thank you for letting me use your dojo, sensei. And he blew up about that. He's like, you're the most disrespectful, like, maggot in the world. I'm like, dude, chill out. Like, and I'd, like, go to his house every once in a while. Like, hey. He did not like me. He did not like, yeah. He was just so scary, dude. He honestly is, like, he's freaky, but I just known him since I was, like, a little kid.
Wait, so he wouldn't, like, vote, like, when you were there outside of school hours, he wouldn't say anything to you? Like,
he would not talk to me, but he would
just sit there and
Chris Farley. He would be like, why did you guys have this guy over? But he wouldn't be like, get out of my home, get out of my home. No, like, I think he's human enough to realize that'd be weird. But yeah, he also, like, he, like, blew up on my stepdad, who was the art teacher once. My stepdad is, like, such a fucking teacher that he was like, do you really think that's, like, appropriate to blow up on another teacher because of a simple question, like, blah blah blah? And the teacher's like, I'm sorry, and he's like, don't apologize now, like, I want you to come to my classroom and apologize to me. And it's like it's like a golden age of this douchebag that just rules the school with an iron fist from, like, oh, I've got a small cock and I'm just a gym teacher and, like, I gotta get my shit out. He had to go to my stepdad's room and he ended up crying while apologizing. My stepdad's like, I don't accept. Get out of here. Like, I don't think that helped, like, my standing with him, because I'm like, I don't even really talk to my stepdad, man. Like, we're not close. But he just was further like, this is a rotten family. Bunch of rotten eggs.
Honestly, it seems like it's earned because you have those goddamn horses that are released upon the town, and, like,
that was when I was really young.
That breaks into people's houses.
No, it was before I was even really around, like, cognitively around.
Yeah, but it's an.
But we're also thing. Like, you know, we do a lot for the community and stuff. People should appreciate.
Did you guys have that milestone, like, benchmark thing where you had to be able to run a mile in a certain amount of time?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I could never do it.
Dude, I would sit there and bust my ass. They were like,
wait, was yours a set time, or was it improve upon your last time?
It was like
a big difference.
I think it was like, if you don't get this time, you need to work on it.
Okay.
And they basically want you to be able to do, like, whatever it is. I think you're supposed to be able to walk like 3 miles per hour, and, like, whatever that is. Broken down for 1 mile. Yeah, it shouldn't be hard, right?
Like a 12-minute mile or something.
Yeah. And so I would jog it, like, I would be busting my ass, and I would, at the end of it, it would be like a 17-minute mile or some shit. It was so long.
Same with me too.
Yeah.
I could never do that shit. I'm curious if I could be better at it now, though.
Well, you said you haven't lost a foot race, and now I'm curious. Yeah. Like, I haven't
I'm very
ever
fast.
ran. So
in a burst, I bet.
Yeah, I'm good in short distances.
I feel like I could beat you.
I don't think you
I'll
could.
race you anytime.
Absolutely. I'd love to.
When you look at me, do you think fast guy?
I will time and film that race.
I run like Tom Cruise. I go like this, and I just go.
Damn.
That's sweet. You just like, there's a fucking bomb 20 feet behind me.
You're so like like tall and thin. Like I feel like you
weirdly fast.
You
For
glide.
a short distance.
You wear one of those sleeked back helmets with a fucking fin on it, and you just power sprint.
Yeah.
Honestly, I bet that is kind of where it started with that teacher in 7th grade. He followed us into high school, but he was my 7th grade gym teacher. And the first time, because you're in 6th grade, you're a child. In 7th grade, I mean, I'm still a child. But they were like, you guys got to do a mile, we'll time you. And then the rest of the year, you have to keep improving your mile time. And that bases your grade. And the first mile, like, I just genuinely didn't get, like, you should be trying. So I walked the entire thing just talking to a friend. And I got like a 17-minute mile. And then the next mile, I was like, oh, this is going to be easy. But I'm not going to make it too easy. So then I got like a 15-minute mile, then like a 13-minute mile, and then like an 11-minute mile. So I was just getting A's every time because I started on such a low baseline.
We had to hit like a 9-minute mile, like a 9:40.
Yeah, we didn't have like a set time.
Like 11 something for the girls or something like that. And I could never do it.
Yeah,
like,
there's no way I could have.
My whole life, I couldn't run a mile without walking a little bit. I don't know if it's because I was just like bad at running, out of shape, because I was like I was actually in great shape probably for me because I was skateboarding like all the time. I don't know if it was like my heart thing that I had or like, I don't know what, but like
it wouldn't help.
I'm curious to know. I'm going to report back. I'm going to try and do some running.
I think my fastest mile ever was a 6
biking,
something,
but
like 6:50 or something. Like not great.
Yeah.
It's like 7's kind of the average. I mean, I guess my best ever for 2 mile was 15 minutes. But
you know what my problem was is I got the initial, like, I did do the mile thing. And then if I was to improve every year, the problem was when they started doing that, my mom had recently gotten divorced. And so it was a lot for her.
Your running.
No, it was a lot for her to like, like get the kids up and everything by herself and like cook breakfast and all this. And so she got this thing. There was this dude called the Schwan man, and he drove a big refrigerator
Schwans,
truck.
The big yellow truck.
Yeah, the big yellow truck.
Schwans kid. Yeah.
Yeah. And God, I used to love
chicken
Schwans.
Patties, fucking
He'd always
ice cream.
come up to my grandma's place too, and then he ran over the corner of their driveway and broke the corner of the driveway, and my grandpa ran him off. He's like, "Don't ever come back here again. You fucked up my driveway with your big refrigerator truck." And I was like, "The Flintstones push pops, no!"
They had some good ice cream options.
Yeah, they did. But
God,
my
their
mom would
veggie
get me
patties
this.
Sucked.
She would get me these like breakfast trays that had. You take like the little saran wrap off the top, and inside there was like 3 pancakes, some sausage links, and some other like there was like a breakfast dessert bullshit that came with it.
That was an option, man. What the hell's getting shitted on, dude? What the hell?
But like, in order for it to be microwaved and it not like the pancakes not dry out and everything was just fucking coated in butter. They had like a quarter stick of butter in there.
God.
And so
Sounds
every
good,
morning I would microwave
breakfast.
one of those, and I would eat that for breakfast. And yeah, I got so fucking fat from like 5th grade to 8th grade. It was horrific. I don't think that was before I got tall. So like Abby started dating me in 7th grade, and I was just one of those insanely fat middle schoolers.
Dude, I don't think my body knew what was going on because I go to my mom's and it's like health food, blah blah blah. Like, get your Schwans chicken veggie patty. I go to my dad's and it's like Kid Cuisine.
Patty?
It'd be like pizza rolls and Kid Cuisine. I'd just be like scarf down a little macaroni, a little brownie that it came with, and like candy bars and shit. And I go to my mom. I never had like a stasis point. I think it honestly, as much as I'm like, I hated how my mom made me eat. Like it has carried over. I don't know if it's overall a good thing for my health, but like I have a really hard time now eating junk food. Where like I still don't eat great, but like I've got that like guilt built into my body.
Oh no, I felt at the restaurant. I ordered like a fish sandwich, and they're like, "Do you want that blackened or fried?" I was like, "Fried," and you were like,
yeah, my mom comes out a little bit.
Yeah, you were like, "Do you need that fried?" I was like, "No, I don't. I'm on vacation. Fuck you. I'm gonna eat this fried, and I'm gonna love it."
Eating disorder or something. Yeah, just classic mom shit. It's just whatever. Yeah. I get my calories from my
I left
beer.
the wife at home. I don't need this, dude.
So your third Shirley Temple? Are you sure about that? Yeah.
Was he drinking Shirley Temples again?
He drank something like it had alcohol in it, but it was like you got? We got some fancy little cocktails at that place. That it was right before we went to Crater Clash.
It was some sort of like lemonade bullshit.
Yeah, I got like a blueberry one that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Both times we were together at a bar, Sam, I had to order you a Shirley Temple.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Shirley
And the
Temple's
guy was
rock.
like,
On the hiking trip, it's like the first thing you got at a restaurant. I'm like, I did not even know people ordered that. I thought that was like a joke.
I was like,
Dude, I love it because Bizzle will hang with me every time too. He's like, I also want a Shirley Temple.
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
two.
Yeah, make it too. Make them fancy.
Extra virgin.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh no, I don't get alcohol in them.
Appletini, light on the teeny.
Yeah.
It's from Scrubs. That's what he always ordered when I was a kid. I'm like, that's the coolest drink ever. And now I'm like, that was a joke. I get that now.
Oh, I was so pissed off. I found out a Mai Tai is the drink that looks like a jungle, like a Carmen Miranda hat. And I ordered one, and they just gave me just the fucking paper umbrella. And I'm like, I felt like holding up the menu and being like, dude, I can see right here you got this little bamboo thing sticking
It's
out.
supposed to be served in a big tiki cup with
yeah, all that. And
supposed to be on fire, man. What the fuck?
It was bullshit. Yeah.
I do love, like, as much as I just prefer beer, like, I'll buy a frilly little cocktail anywhere if it looks good.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. I'll drink whatever.
But it's like the hangovers. If you get drunk off those, like,
Yeah, anything too
you don't drink
sugary
more than
turn
one
into
or two. Like,
well, see, that's what I'm saying called
those
a binge
people that just
drinker,
drink like
so
back to back to back margaritas. It's like, dude, that's just like eating like 150 Skittles in one sitting. That's like so much sugar. Like, what the hell are
That's
you
what
doing?
fucks you up the
Yeah.
next day mostly, like than the
Yeah,
alcohol.
you drink like one
the sugar.
margarita or something.
You ever been to like a sugar
And then
factory?
you switch to beer or something, which is also terrible.
I don't know.
full
I
of
get so
sugar.
Well,
there's,
no,
like, so many
liquor
carbs
before
and
beer,
shit.
you're in the clear. So, but beer before liquor,
But if
never
it's too
been
much
sicker.
sugar, you wake
Yeah.
up, you feel like a booger or something.
Yeah.
It's nothing good. I
Red
don't know.
sky at night. You know what they say. So, I love those little adages, those little sayings.
Yeah.
They're
There's
telling.
always little
man.
exceptions that are like huge.
But if there is a blue streak, my God. If in that sky you see a purple lightning flash, you are dead. Yeah, there's always something that gets you.
No, I was like, because
Yeah, what are you
Like,
talking about?
no, like especially like in English, like I before E except after C, like all those type.
Oh,
things.
you mean like literal like grammar ones? Yeah.
Yeah, like little grammar limericks to like remember rules and what have you.
God,
I always
I'm really bad with the effort. Oh wait, no, not effort. What is it? The E and A word. God, I can't remember.
effect.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
And there's like a little saying for it. And I never fucking remember it.
I never remember that shit. My
I can
kid's
get it
starting
right
to like
90%
spell,
of the time, but
and I have to like she's sounding it out. She is sounding out words, and she's like, "This is how you spell like whatever that word is." I'm like, "That's right." Except for actually in English, it's all fucked up, and there's a bunch of silent letters in here.
sorry.
English
Knife
is
has
so
a K
hard.
at the beginning of it, and she's like,
Yeah.
"What the fuck are you talking about?" It's like
English
it's so
is super hard to learn as a
it's so
second
I'm
language.
glad
they
it was
say.
my first language.
Makes no
but
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
That's
wish
cool.
I had
You're gonna
a
get to
second.
do. Sorry.
No,
you get to do homework again.
Yeah.
You're gonna get to see how stupid you
Yeah,
are.
I'm gonna feel fucking smart for like the first 3 years.
For a little
yeah,
bit.
for a little bit.
As soon as it's junior high, maybe 5th grade, you're gonna be like, oh fuck,
Shit. Like
they're
you
getting
have to
basic
like
algebra.
critically read like a paragraph about
Yeah.
something and like figure out what it's about.
Yeah.
Abby's back in school for something, and she's taking algebra. And I was looking at her homework, and I was just like, "Dude, I am. My mind is gone from this. Like, I can't even comprehend the math that's going on over
You
there."
dropped
I
out in
haven't-
what, 4th grade?
Yeah,
So
didn't even finish middle school.
tough, man. I mean, it's tough.
Well, when you knock up someone in middle school, you can't
Yeah,
stay there.
yeah.
So
You gotta,
you gotta drop out.
and
I'd
then you
start
give
working at
that
the
one
factory.
away, and then
Yeah.
a couple years later, you're
Yeah.
actually ready.
Yep.
And then that one comes on the original one comes on your podcast one day as a guest, and then stays around as a co-host.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I named him after me, so because he's my boy, and I'll always be proud of him.
Sign here. I feel like I'm getting signed.
Not that kind of relationship. Yeah. Not that
What
kind.
you were saying something, Aqua?
This is news to me.
What were you saying?
I wasn't saying
You were
anything.
Yeah,
talking.
I actually found my long lost son through you on Rust. I forgot to.
You walked up to me.
I lost
what's
him.
his name?
2016.
I had a child in 2012 named Sam. Oh my god, this could be him. How old is he? Is he 4 years old?
Wait, honestly,
that
like,
Rust Village.
What year were you born?
Me?
Yeah.
1998.
Oh.
I could be your father.
No.
Actually, no, I couldn't.
If you were born in like the mid 2000s, maybe.
Yeah, but
You
I
know,
wasn't.
like 5 years later.
Although
plausible.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It took me a while to
For that time,
figure
for
out
that
how to
fake.
use any equipment.
Yeah.
Oh, really? I learned instantly. I had an older brother.
I was like,
Yeah.
I was a shameful, awful
uncle.
little boy.
I had an uncle and an older brother.
Uncles,
So
older brothers.
I learned what coming was
Yeah.
pretty young.
Pretty young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was a weapon.
I walked around very uncomfortable for a long time. I was too scared to figure out what would happen.
Yeah, I was
It was
right there
not
with
good.
you. Fear
I was
ruled
a
my life.
shameful, fearful little
I'm a
boy.
very, I grew up in a very
was
modest
fearless.
family too, so it's.
It's fearless.
Fearless.
Yeah.
My older brother was like
For you.
had paved through all those paths, but wasn't like, I'm your older brother. I'm going to teach you the rights and wrongs. He's like, don't come in my room. Don't jerk off in here. Go fuck off. Fuck around. So
Sam
I
was
didn't
just
really.
sitting
get
in-
No,
the
no, like my
advantage.
brother didn't like physically show me. It was just
He,
like,
held it for you.
I'd be using the computer playing Diablo or something, and he would be like, "Get the fuck off the computer. Mom's not home, and I'm fucking jacking off." And
Yeah,
he'd
see,
be
my
like,
brother, we are all too.
he'd pull up
weird
his
and
porn and then
private,
look at me and go, "Leave," and I'd be like,
Also, how much older is your older brother?
"He's 5 years older."
Yeah, I guess that's close. My older brother's 7 years older, but like those 2 years, they really.
That gap, no, a 5 year difference is insane. Like me and my brother had nothing in common, and it was such an insane gap of time that he was just like, I don't want this fucking little nerd around me.
Yeah, and also you sucked. Like, see, the bad part for my older brother is I rocked, and he was
Oh.
like, I should bring this kid around, but he's just too young, so I can't.
Yeah.
It's what I imagine. He never said this, but I imagine he was always like, but I loved him.
100%.
I always loved him and respected him. He was really cool, but I just couldn't bring him around.
You know what my dad said to me recently?
Ooh,
I was like, I found all these like old
Bitch.
like videos because like I would film everything when I was
I'm
a
jealous
kid
of
on
that.
those like mini DV tapes. Yeah, I've got tons of
got
footage.
no like even pictures of me as a little kid. I feel like.
Yeah, a lot of them are like fucked up in terms of the audio. Like the tapes just like
The
decayed
content.
a little bit. Yeah, my content, but it's like showing them to my
I
dad,
like the digital,
and he was
convert
like,
that
"Man, you were like." I didn't like you so much back then. You were like a weird, annoying little kid. And I was
Jeez.
like, he's like, you're much better now. And I was like, oh, thanks, Dad. I thought you like always loved me and thought I was cool my whole life.
It's like unconditional love.
Like-
I thought is what we had.
Yeah, he's like, I didn't really like you back then.
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
There
I'm
is
sorry, man. That's
phases
tough
that
to hear.
your kid goes through.
No,
I
it's
feel like
fine.
where you think they suck and you don't want to tell them that they suck. But
My dad would never say that to me. We have an
Really?
awesome relationship.
I bet
Oh,
you if
you
I
don't
called
have-
up my
you don't have
dad and I
old
said
tapes.
like,
Okay,
I
you
don't have
did.
these tapes that prove it. But,
Yeah.
my dad and I have always been like more friend relationship than parent son.
Same.
Yeah, it's
honestly.
It's cool for us.
But as a friend, he didn't
yeah,
like
yeah,
me as
that's
much
even
back
worse.
then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're a bad
you weren't
friend.
my son. Yeah, you were
Bad
a bad friend. I never wanted to tell you this, but you were
I didn't
really
really.
bad
You
friend.
weren't a
Really
bad
like the
son.
same
You were
stuff
always a
back
good
then.
son, but you were a horrific friend.
Yeah, no common interest.
No.
Never want to go titty bar.
Nope. Always wanted to play with fucking Legos.
No double dates when you're 5. Nothing cool.
No cocaine
Yeah.
before dinner.
Yeah.
No nummies.
Nummy jitteries. Yeah.
My dad's developed like a really late in life like weed
Addiction.
problem. He's like really. He's got like a medical card and everything.
My dad is
And he's just like
similar.
it's like him. It's like me at like 17, but he's like 66
Isn't that
years old.
funny when you're like talking to them and they're like, "Oh, be careful! Like, this is a big hit." Like my dad, like I don't know, he started listening to too much Joe Rogan or something, and now he's all in, but he still gets drug tested every once in a while, so he has to be careful. But it was funny the first time in college, or maybe it was post college, where like I went to a family event and he's like, hey, do you want a gummy? I was like candy? He's like, no, like THC gummy. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like instantly I'm like, our relationship has just shifted from like child adult to like, these guys offering me weed. And then anytime we'd smoke, he'd be like, now be careful. Like one hit off this little oney, like this is going to get you pretty fried. And I'm like, you got more? You got some more of that? Like, I'm going to need about 15 of these, Dad. Like, crush it up. I had to be like really subtle at first, be like, yeah, I'm pretty high. And then like when he'd go to bed, I'd pull it back out and be like, because I'm like, how do I tell this guy I've been smoking weed every day for the past 4 years? Like no one knows this. Like I can't really, I don't want to rip that Band-Aid off yet. So I'll wait till I'm a little older. But yeah, it was.
Oh, really?
It was fun. Well, in the college, the Jester, if he got me.
I love
on a
the
fucking
Jester,
beer can, like, because like I said, a lot of my friends started in elementary, junior high, and then a lot of the rest caught up in like high school. A lot of people were smoking and drinking, but I was like a pretty good like goody two shoes because my older brother was like went through the whole regimen. He had some big ones, so I was like, yeah, I'll play it cool. And then in college, it's like it finally hit, and I always knew like I wasn't against it like for a lot of I was like, I know once I start, like I just have an addictive personality, like I'm just gonna be smoking all the time. And I finally, like, they broke me down and got me high, and I went and sat on my washing machine and closed the closet. I put on my headphones, and for like 4 months there, we'd go to parties. I'd bring my noise canceling headphones. It's like so autistic. I'd like someone would have weed. I'd be like, can I hit that? And I'd take my headphones. I'd just leave, and I'd just be like, it was like those first highs where I'm like on another fucking planet, like listening to music, and just like, oh.
What would you listen to? What was your go-to?
In college, I've gone through so many. I don't know at that time, honestly, probably like some similar rap to what I listen to now, but maybe I'd be like, maybe now I'll understand Steely Dan or Yellow, and like I'll put that on. I'll be like, whoa, this shit goes crazy. And like
I always listen to Cashmere. I'd listen to Cashmere by Led Zeppelin, and I'd just be like, oh. Like it's an epic song.
On to something, these 12-minute jam sessions.
This must have been recently for you, though, Sam.
Yes,
right?
yeah, very recently. I was actually just talking to Steve about this. Like, he's like, you guys used to mock me openly when I was a teenager because I would smoke and stuff and drink, and because I was always just like a straight edge kid.
Shit ain't cool.
Yeah, I was like, this body's a temple, I just eat constant fast food and shit.
Yeah,
and yeah, and then I had kids and a wife.
And you're like, I need to get high.
I
I'm
have
gonna fucking
to
kill myself.
I have to. I without it, I'm nothing.
Yeah.
Z-Chum is like going through a very like 16-year-old weed arc right now.
I remember trying to smoke with him before, and he's like, I get too paranoid.
Yeah,
but
no,
I'll grow
he's
it. And now it's like, well, you keep growing it, you're gonna start smoking it at some point.
Yeah, exactly. He's gotten very like it's so funny, all the like classic cliche trope things he's like going through and discovering. Like message me like I got high and watched like Willy Wonka. Or something
have you
like
heard
that.
of Studio Ghibli,
Like,
this This shit's crazy.
Like you're literally
I've just
me.
seen that's 17. On. They have like a Studio Ghibli like section on HBO. Yes,
Yeah, it's been there for a while.
I am going to tear through that.
They even have like ambient. Like I used to put that on, but I'm like, that's definitely copyright. They have like a Calcifer Fire from House Moving Castle, where it's like one of these, but he's in it, and they have like ambient Studio Ghibli nature loop. That rocks, like just great throw on your TV or like you're at a party or something.
I've seen the compilations of like Studio Ghibli food compilation. It's like 40 minutes of just people cooking and yeah.
No, they've got like a great like nature loop, and it's just like train going through water, birds, flights. Like I can't even get that high anymore, and it sucks because now it's like I'll take it like when I got my wisdom teeth out, I'm like I can't smoke for a week. I made about 4 days, and I'm like I gotta smoke. Like I don't care if I get dry socket. And that first time, like now it sucks because when I get too high, I'm not like, whoa. I'm like, I'm going to order DoorDash and go puff at the same time and eat till I'm like physically ill. And then I just eat and then I green out on my couch to the point where I'm like, I don't know what movies I watched because I ate so much I like went into a coma. And like it's the only time I ever fall asleep on this. Like I'll wake up at like 5 a.m. and be like, and it's like for a week my belly's like out to here, and I'm just like, ugh. It's disgusting.
Awful.
It is. I've got no control with food when I get really high.
I eat like that normally sometimes. Like I did tonight.
I go on a mission. I sit there and creep out of my office up the stairs, which is near the kids' bedroom, so I have to be really quiet. And I go and I have this one little light that shines down onto the pantry, and I turn it on in the kitchen.
Oh, angels
and I go
sing.
In the pantry. We have a shelf that's just for like kids snacks for like the girls, and yeah, I'll tear up all their those things called the little applesauce go packets and stuff. And I know you eat them like a
talking
like
go squeeze.
Those
Go crazy.
He
I got
eats
one
those
left.
just as a snack, but I think of them as like little.
I've talked to I've definitely told you about that in high school. There was a period where like, I don't know, my parents never packed my lunch, and then I hated school lunch, so I just like wouldn't eat lunch a lot of times. Like I just couldn't eat the chicken. I'm just like I'm not a picky eater, but I'm like, it's a champagne taste with that beer bunch. I'd be like, no way, I'm not eating this fucking Uncrustable. Like I ate one where it was frozen in the middle. I'm like, I'm good. I
love that shit.
I hated them. And my stepmom, when she came around, she's like the most adult person I've ever had in my life. And she'd be like, when you stay with us, like I can pack your lunch when I pack your stepsister and your brothers. I'm like, oh my God. And she used to throw a go squeeze in there. But when I get to school, I just had a little plastic bag with it in it. And I was so humiliated that one time I got a spoon and I'd go in the bag and squeeze it in, pull it out, squeeze it in, pull it out. And one of my friends was like, what the fuck are you doing? And I was like, nothing. And he ripped, like, what's in there? And they pulled out the go-go squeeze, and everyone's like, oh, like this dude's eating go-go squeeze. I'm like, it's not just for babies. It's not just for babies. And like a couple months ago, I saw it at the grocery store. I'm like, I'm a fucking full-grown man. Like I can eat what I want. Yeah. And it still definitely is for maybe babies, but it's a very convenient way to eat. Because when I was a kid, I get a 6-pack of Mott's. I just house the whole thing, just lick it all up, and I'm sick. I always
diarrhea.
Yeah,
diarrhea.
Eat an entire bag of grapes. I love grapes and applesauce. My grandma always had them, so I go over there, eat 6 cinnamon Mott's and a fucking bushel of grapes, and then just like, shoot out your asshole. And then like now it's like, I'm a man, if I want to if I want to indulge in a little go-go squeeze. I wish they were bigger. I wish they were like this, like fucking huge. But they're
fucking am like super concerned because like my mom knows about all this now, and she's like, oh, I've seen episodes, and like she doesn't say anything specifically, but you tell I just like spit everywhere randomly. You can tell she's just like, what the fuck are you doing out there? But and I don't want to disparage her parenting or anything, but she watches my brother's kids, and I just
talked about her.
Yeah, I
smacking them around a little.
Oh yeah, she did do that.
In the head and fucking.
She did do that funny thing.
Cigarettes out.
She started to fall with my youngest nephew, and
put him out.
Yes, put him out and used his body to obliterate a side table, and it completely just destroyed the side table.
Honestly, though, a kid would be fine. She'd probably break every bone.
Yeah, she would have. Yeah. So and my brother called me and told me about it, and I was like, no, surely he's like exaggerating because he does that. And I went over there a couple days later, and sure as shit, there was just a deassembled side table like on the living room floor, like they're trying
print through the fucking.
Yeah, they're trying to piece it together. No, but
hair on it.
They're trying to potty train blood
Skin.
And like scalp pieces on it. God. They're trying to potty train the oldest one, and my brother has told me many times, he's like, every time I pick those fucking kids up, dude, they have diarrhea every time. And I've gone over there and I've watched, and when you give kids juice is horrific. It's like regular, like it's like
I never liked juice as a kid, which is weird.
Yeah, it's like soda but without the carbonation. Like it's so much sugar and everything. It's bad for you. But at least fruits and stuff has the fiber. But they would just. She just gives them giant cups of just apple juice all the time.
Drink your Sunny D. Shut up.
No water mixed in it or nothing. It's just straight up apple juice. And those kids will drink like she'll go through
Didn't even cut it with water. I've never heard of cutting it with
No,
water.
yeah, for like little kids, you're supposed to cut that shit with water.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But anyway, so she basically like a whole half gallon in a day for like 2 little kids. And these kids are like under the age of like 4. Like they're young.
Oh,
and,
shit. Yeah.
And my brother's like, yo, I'll get them back and they'll just be shitting like just liquid for, a day until they get over it. And
are they potty trained or they're trying to?
They're trying to potty train right now. And my mom was telling me, she's like, I fucking gave up today. I gave up because I was, I put him on the potty to poop and stuff. And he just runs around. And I don't know why, but this kid never has a solid shit around me, and he's just spraying diarrhea on the floor, running down the hallway.
God, gross.
And then she has mentioned multiple times, she's like, why don't I get to watch your kids? I was like, dude, it's nothing but horror stories over there.
Every time,
just diarrhea, slip and slides in the hallway, fucking using kids to batter tables and break them open and shit.
No, my parents were the potty train. Put a rubber band, twist up a couple times around your penis and your balls to seal it up, and then a cork in your butt. And then only when they have to pee, then they take it all off.
They take you in there.
Kinda,
My parents actually took my really long penis and just poked it in my asshole.
Well,
so it's a closed system.
I almost had no penis. They thought I was a little girl for a long time. So originally my name was Samantha, and that was.
My brother was actually so fat as a kid that my mom brought him to the doctor and was like, something's up with his cock because his cock is so small. And then the doctor like pushed on his fat pad and she's like, it's not small. His dick's covered in fat. And she pushed down on his fat pad and she's like, look, it's like a stick in the mud.
He's
and
got
she
like a 7-inch dick down here. You get past all the fat.
Past all the fat, yeah.
What's wrong with this kid's dick?
I don't know, but anyways, my brother's probably gonna listen to this and punch me in the gut next time he sees me.
How's this woman that's horribly mishandling your nephews? I wonder. She couldn't be the same person that raised you guys to be little fat monsters.
It's one and the same.
You guys were probably drinking straight and uncut apple juice all the time.
Childhood was weird. You don't realize how weird your childhood was until you start raising kids.
You're an adult. Until you start raising kids. Never mind. I guess I got a couple years until I realized.
Oh, because you like handle situations and then you go like, how did my parents handle them? Oh God.
My mom used to give me so much chocolate.
Oh,
I was like Augustus Gloop.
Jesus Christ.
I wasn't like overweight or anything, but I ate a lot of fucking chocolate growing up. Like an obscene amount.
That's weird.
Yeah.
The only chocolate I could ever have was like the richest dark chocolate where I'd eat it and be like, this
Have
sucks.
some chocolate.
Yeah.
I'd eat it and be like, I don't like chocolate. Yeah. Or just like just some pretentious health chocolate where it's like, this is good for you. You eat a little bit of this with some red wine, you're fine.
No, it would be like, she'd make like pancakes on the weekend, chocolate pancakes.
Dude, that is like,
make me like a chocolate milk cake to go with it. She was like trying to like get me to gain weight because I was like a skinny kid and like I guess I like chocolate, so it turned into a lot of fucking chocolate.
I was a fat little kid, but then not. I was just born fat though. I was born like a chunky little, beautiful set of hair, black hair. Beautiful. I had my eyebrows. I had hair on my back, which I somehow lost, and just like a real stallion. But I was pretty fat and. Yeah, but people were worried about me a little bit because I don't know, we've got this health complex where it's like it's probably creating some stigmas and shit about fat people for me. But my older brother.
I've noticed your open contempt for fat people.
I hate them. Yeah. No, I've got no problem with fat people. I just have like my own. Like, I can only eat this little piece of pizza. I don't want both pieces of pizza. What mommy think? My older brother was, because they used to carry me everywhere too, in a little baby thing in the front or a little strap thing. And he like went up to me, my bottoms of my feet were fucking little balls. And he's like, if you don't start letting this kid walk, he'll never be able to. And they're like, shut up. He's like 8 years old. But he's like, he will never be able to walk if you don't start like putting him down because his feet are too fat and he'll just roll around. And now I've got flat feet. So I don't know if they really set me down hard or something. Dude. I think when they plop me down, my little balls popped. And
your feet are deflated, dude.
You had like balls in your feet.
I was just a fat little. My little bottoms of my feet were just little fat baby feet. But it's like everyone's so worried about all this health shit. Like I was just a normal little fat baby. But yeah, it was a big concern growing up about my fat little feet, my little wrist mark where your wrists are fat, looks like little rubber bands around your wrist.
Yeah, it looks like you have a sleeve of fat
I'm just like the chunkiest. I'm still like the fullest person in my family, probably. Like everyone's just all ghastly, gaunt.
Ghastly.
Yeah, but like my dad's just like a bigger guy. My dad's just like a bigger version of me. So like I got, some of his shit too.
Everybody in my family is morbidly obese or about there. I'm hands down the smallest person in my family. God, yeah. And the tallest. I'm tallest and thinnest. They're
That's
like,
awesome.
dude, you're like
That's
a little
awesome.
beanpole. And I'm like
He's like a stick.
yeah, he's like a
That's Sam.
stick. 100% serious. I'm 100% serious. I've heard that from multiple people.
Sam, you're skin and bones.
Dude, my uncle looked like Shrek. All right, these people are just round people. And so I'm over 6 feet. I'm not 350 pounds.
Oh,
like,
got some get more meat on those bones. You might get sick. Yeah. Holy
Seriously,
shit.
Good. You look healthy. You look good.
That's awesome, dude. My mom would have been fucking frightened by you, and your mom would have probably fed me a bunch of butter or something. Well, they should have done one of those like switched at birth little like TV show nanny things. Oh my god, that's awesome. A little bean ball.
Damn, you don't look so
Oh,
good.
green
You
bean
look thin.
sprout. Look at him. Oh, that's hilarious. And you're
But
commenting how
it
fat you
is
were
funny
as a
though
kid.
that it's like but those people it doesn't matter how much weight my brother loses, he will never have like my build, if that makes sense.
Yeah, he's just like he's just a fuller.
Yeah, he's just like a little barrel chested guy. Like he's built like a little dwarf or something. And then like everybody in my family has that same aesthetic. Or they're like thin little mountain hillbilly type people. Like that are like 5'3", and I'm like, there's where the fuck did I come from? Is the weird question.
You were left on the doorstep.
Yeah.
For sure. My mom probably fucked somebody.
Probably a fucking giant. Yeah, probably like
Just
the
like a
tallest,
regular-
thinnest.
Giant.
Yeah. You fucked a big cigarette and you were born. Yeah.
And then I mixed with her big old fat lady
just
jeans.
wanted to see what happened if I could smoke a cigarette with my pussy. 7 months later, you were born.
Yep, that's me.
7 months later.
Oh my god.
15 months later, there you were.
The fattest baby. That's so funny. How tall is your brother?
He's like 5'10".
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a dwarf. Yeah, he's like dwarf stature.
No, I just meant dwarf because
Yeah,
like
he's got,
just
like,
short
that.
arms, short
I
legs.
do know a guy that like he
big
just
beard.
looks like a stretched out, like he looks like a fantasy dwarf. He's a bald guy in our family with a big fucking red beard, and he's got like that pudgy nose.
Yeah.
He's just all pudgy. He just looks like a literal like Lord of the Rings dwarf in real life. But he's like 5'6", so he's not like fully there. But every time I see him, I'm like, at least since I'm a little kid, I'm like, this guy looks straight out of a fucking fantasy book. Like he's
I had a guy
weirdly
like
proportioned.
that would this guy. I've never seen a beard like this. This guy would shape his beard to be a shoot.
Oh.
And so he would just, he would sit down at the dinner table and his beard, like before he made his plate, his beard would just go like into his plate and just like rest on it. Like he just went for it as a shoot.
Yeah, this guy had like gold rings in his and a big axe on his back and stuff. Yeah. Like braided parts of his beard. Yeah,
Cloak.
Yeah, a cloak, a little party of little hobbits and stuff. Yeah, real weird guy. Apparently he's like a total douchebag, which I could believe it. He looks weird. Luckily, I don't have to. I see him once every couple of years. I'm always like, guy somehow still looks nothing
The same
changed.
age. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just 30 forever. There's people like that, and then one day they're like 70.
I was about to say, the guy with the shoot beard and my uncle, they were just like hardy little, I work with my hands dudes. And then all of a sudden,
My back!
like, 5 years, all of a sudden they go from like that to just like, I'm broken, my body. This body of mine is gone.
Blue collar workers. My
Blue
back's
collar,
broken
overweight
from
blue
slouching
collar
in
worker.
my podcast chair. Yeah, I know. Every time my dad's like, my hands are addled from I'm getting electrocuted. My back hurts. I'm like, oh fuck. Like,
My back hurts.
shit. Yeah, my back hurts.
I tried to go get a massage recently because
how'd that go?
not only am I like a gamer, who sits in the chair a lot.
You're a golfer also.
Goblin. The golf thing, yeah. I haven't been playing recently too much, but I went for the first time. Anyway, I have like residual like muscle pain from like all that medical surgery stuff I did.
Oh, yeah.
And it like still hurts in my back. So like I tried to go for a massage. I like went to like an official massage place, right? Like where you like go in, sign a form, like write down all this medical shit about you, like, and it was like, have you had surgery in the past, like so and so long? And I like fill out the form, everything, hand it back to the people. They're like, okay, great. Just have a seat, and then your like person will come and get you. And I was like, okay, great. So then she comes, gets me. We go into the little massage room and everything, and it's like the type of place where like I hate doing this, by the way, but like I really felt like it would help. Where it's the type of place, you get all like undressed, like down. They're like, put on this robe, take everything else off underneath. I'll leave you alone for a little while. And then she comes back in, and I've got like a towel on or something because that's what she said to do. And I'm standing there like with my shirt off, and I have like this big like scar here now. And she's like, all right, so like, what's going on? Like, I explained to her, like, yeah, I had like, heart surgery, this, that, my muscles and my back are still sore. I wanted to like, just like come here and see if it would help, like, like make everything kind of feel a little better, like relax my muscles. She's like, okay, yeah, no problem. So like, and she's like looking at my chest. She's like, when did you say you had this done? And I was like, oh, like 2.5 months ago. And she's just like, all right, get the hell out. Like, you can just go right now. You can't be here.
What?
Really?
And I felt so rejected. I was standing there with my shirt off, and she was just like, leave. I was like, oh.
Why?
Okay.
They don't want to damage you?
It's against it. Yeah, I guess. It was against their, like
what the fuck?
Insurance.
It would be funny if she reached right
in
in and opened you up and grabbed your heart or something.
Yeah, I felt so just.
Yeah,
it's presenting myself.
Yeah, you're so bare. You're so.
Yeah,
exposed.
I was like meekly like, can you rub my back? She's like, no, get out of here.
I'll pop your heart. Get out of here. Gone. That sucks. I once went
so now my back still hurts.
Yeah.
I was fucking denied a nice
Did they say
massage.
when you could go back?
My doctor said I could go.
Oh, weird.
She was just like, no.
They're like,
go in there with a doctor's order.
No, I'm just gonna go to like.
That would be pathetic. Like you show back up. Doctor says you gotta.
Please.
Like you with your asthma note.
Yeah. I once had a wart on my foot, which is about the grossest thing my body's ever done. And it was on my toe. And I'm like just already like a serial procrastinator, and like I can't set up appointments or anything for I'm like just always debilitated with like common things to do, like humans should do. And so it took a while, like I saw it getting bigger. I'm like, oh, this will be fine. Like it will probably just fall off or something. And it got to the point where it was like that big coming off my toe. And it was like the size of my little toe.
Was it on the side of your big toe by any chance?
It was on the side of like one of my middle ones.
Oh, I had one like that on my big toe. It looked like another big toe.
It was gross.
It was awful.
And it started getting to the point where I'm like, okay, this is starting to hurt. And I went to a CVS clinic because like on their thing, they're like, one of their things they mentioned were like, we can freeze warts. And I was like, well, shit, maybe I'll go here. And I went in, and the like doctor were talking for a while. And they're like, all right, let me like take your shoe off. I take my shoe off, and they're like doing their own thing. I take my sock off, and I'm there. I'm like, okay, I'm ready. And they turn around. They're like, oh my god, what? And she said, we cannot. Like, this is way. You need to go to a hospital. Like, we can't deal with this. This is too far gone. Like, we can't freeze this off. It's the fucking size of your pinky toe. And I was like, whoa, like that's not good. And so I didn't go to a hospital, and I just went home, and I'm like, well, that was a big bummer because like I don't know how insurance works and stuff. Like I don't want to pay for a doctor. So I just like left it for a couple more months, and it got to the point where it started like getting pretty tender and big. And one night I just like, and I fiddled with it enough that I pulled it out, and like I got the roots, and then there was just a hole in my toe, and I just wrapped it up, and years later, there's no markings or nothing.
You just
That's
pulled it out like a fruit.
Mine.
I fucked with it enough until it got like a loose tooth.
Plucked it,
and then
did you
I
keep
think
it?
I did
like,
it. Well,
you could have got one on your hand or something.
I'm
or on your,
clean.
like,
then I immediately went to jerking off. So yeah, woo, popped it up. Yeah, I took a bunch of Snapchats of it and sent it to my friends. I put it on my desk and I was like, whoa, like, and every time the updates, anytime I'd be like, it's getting a little bigger, my friends would be like, please stop sending me pictures. It's so fucking gross.
I don't want to see.
And yeah, eventually it just kind of disappeared. And it's just kind of how I deal with a lot of medical where I'm like, come on.
Push
like
it
a
to the
witch's
back.
nose.
Yeah, and it's good. I actually haven't looked at my feet in a long time. I don't know. It's time to check them. It's back.
They're covered in warts.
And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 toes. Like, oh my god. Yeah. I have no
had
idea.
one as a kid like that, and I was like playing with like a cart, like a little kid play cart or something, and I like ran it over my mistake and like ripped it off. My sixth toe.
Henry. Yeah.
And I my mom was trying to figure this wart out for like a while, and like the doctors didn't want to do anything to it either. Like
we removed it, it could die.
It was like half ripped off, and my mom saw great opportunity. She went to fucking work on that thing and performed at-home surgery.
Oh,
and
God.
It didn't come back. She got the root.
Yeah, I wish I had
Probably
my
kept
mommy
it
there.
in a little jar.
Yeah, it's a good thing to keep. I honestly think I just like flicked it on my desk, and then like a day later, I'm like, oh shit, where the
She has
my
my
dog
teeth.
ate it or something. Yeah.
Actually,
Your
Parents
teeth?
have your teeth.
No.
we have the
so.
umbilical cord from Madeline, and it
Turned
like
black?
dried up into like a little piece of like jerky, and then it fell on the floor, and Gwen ate it.
Ew.
The dog ate humans.
You
She's got a
set that
taste
up.
for
Like,
humans.
how do you? You're just like pulling it out. Like, look, we still got.
No, okay, so it was in the. Okay, so you have a kid, and then they have a dresser, but they can't open up their own drawers for like the first year or whatever, because they're. So you actually just keep things used for children in their dresser drawer. Well, then eventually the kid got old enough that she was like opening up drawers and like going through it, like trying to find her clothes, and she would pull out like. I don't know. Like we would have like the things that you use to like baby proof a room and so like all the extra shit we would have in one of those drawers, and including memoirs. And one of them was a Ziploc bag with an umbilical cord. And she's like, "What's this thing? Oh, it's like a little black thing." And I was like, "That's your umbilical that we left on you, and then it fell off when you got home." And I was like, "Don't mess with that." And so I put it on top of the dresser because she was like going crazy doing something. And I was like, don't mess with that. And I put it on top of the dresser. And then I'm assuming Abby went in there and like knocked it up against the wall, and it fell behind the dresser. And mentally I was like, her umbilical cord's right there under the dresser up against the wall. I know exactly where it is. And then when I went to go get it later, it was gone.
Ew.
Dog ate it.
That's the only thing I could think
Or
of.
she ate it.
Or Abby ate it. Yeah.
Or maybe it came to life and
Yeah.
inched away
Yeah.
like under the fridge or
There's the
something.
third
and
option
it's,
there that we were ignoring.
yeah,
That is so gross. I wonder if I'll keep shit like that when I have kids. I'm like a very nostalgic, like pack ratty. Like I keep a lot of like mementos.
yeah,
But
that
I think that
seems
one
a
I'm
little-
like cool with. Did you guys eat the placenta in a big pie?
No, I don't see the point of that. There's like, I feel like it's like Himalayan salt where they're like, oh, it's got like it's pink, so it's got extra. And I'm
I
like,
think it's just an excuse to eat something you'll
Yeah.
never be able to eat again.
I don't believe in the positive medicinal aspects of it. I think you're just eating like basically just garbage. Like,
what do they say that it
They
does?
say
got
it
all
helps
those
with,
nutrients
like,
that.
yeah, it has all this like baby nutrient bullshit, and it's supposed to help like women jumpstart their breastfeeding or
If it
something.
makes your tits grow, I'm gonna make my wife eat 2 of them.
Yeah.
And
And
filling them with milk. I'm gonna
some
fucking-
lady came in and was like, "Do you
Eat
want to
up.
donate that, or do you want to eat it?"
Oh,
like-
really?
Yeah.
Donate it to what?
Do a
Someone
lot of
else
people
that will
do
eat
that?
it?
No, you. Well, I mean, like if you save it, usually what people do is you don't fucking eat it like a giant jellyfish. You send it off, and they reduce it down to make it into capsules, pills, and then you take a pill
What?
every day. Yeah. And
Well, that's
That's
better.
so-
That's better, but that's still.
weird.
Like,
No,
I'd
if I
eat
was to eat it, I'd eat that bitch like.
I'd eat it right out the pussy, dude.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
I'd eat it.
I'd be waiting on the ground
You
while
don't
the
get
baby's being
opportunities
delivered.
to eat human too often. I don't think.
A human byproduct like that, where it's like, what a weird, like, oh, so if I drink a big gallon of piss, I'm a freak. You know, I eat a big shit, you know, on a plate, I'm a monster. But you can eat like
placenta and you're healthy. You're new age.
Yeah, that's weird.
But I opted to I was like, let's just donate it. Like, what the fuck?
Donate to who?
Oh, there's a shitload of stem cells in there. They use it for like research. So if like someone loses their ear or whatever,
can you
they
get
like,
it in
grow a new
stem
one.
cell? Can you get like stem cell injection?
That's true. Yeah, that would be cool.
If I would take one of those. I don't really know what those do, but I'd take a couple of those.
I think what they
Peyton
stem
Manning
cells,
got them, I think, so I'd take some.
If I
That's an
remember
Indiana
correctly,
hero.
stem cells can mimic whatever other cells you want them to be. So you can like, if you need to make brain tissue, you can use stem cells to like make brain tissue.
If you need to make like penis skin,
I was gonna say like penis
can I
longer. Can I get like
myself?
Can I cut the end of my cock off and then put stem cells on there, grow some shaft, and then put the head back on? I keep it on ice.
Or just grow out like a really long tip.
Oh
That'd
yeah,
be
like,
cool.
it looked like an old
Like a
medieval
cone
lance.
head.
Yeah.
You know, like a real long, pointy one.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
That would be cool.
If you could put some stem cells on
Make
any
it
part of your
sharp on
body,
the
what
end,
would you
too.
do?
That'd be sweet.
Neck.
Where'd you put your stem
Neck.
cells?
I think it would be funny to have my shoulders at the bottom of the frame and then neck, and then you just see my eyes like up here.
I do it on my little tiny hands. I get another thumb. I grow another thumb that way. I
A
could
thumb
be,
right here
Yeah,
would
that'd
be
awesome.
insane. That would be.
Yeah.
You could
catch
grab so
baseballs
well.
out of the
That
air.
would go crazy.
I'd get a
Oh, you
special
could
made
like
Xbox
choke
controller.
someone and put your fingers in their eyes at the same time. You could. It would be insane.
That is insane that you just
Yeah,
thought of that.
Just for that. I want the thumb thing. I'm going
No,
with the
that's
double
mine.
thumb.
The thumb thing
No,
is a
you
good
already
one.
said neck. You have to- No, you have to get a long neck now.
I get 2 extra arms like Goro.
Oh, that'd
Well, I
be,
didn't
well,
real- I
now
thought you
you're
said
using your
extending
stem-
an
yeah.
already existing part of your body. I
Well,
didn't think you could
I'm
grow
thinking out of
extra.
the-
I'm breaking the
I thought we
rules.
already
Make
talked
my
about
arms
this
bigger
boom
than-
if we would add arms at our knees.
Oh,
Wasn't
yeah.
that
Yeah, we did talk about that for
Yeah.
some time.
Yeah, that was like years ago. Yeah, have an extra set of arms at your knees, and then you could kind of like haul ass
Roll.
in any. Yeah,
You
you'd be
can
like
do
a
a lot.
really
You
good
can do a lot.
mechanic.
You grab someone else's legs while you're fighting them, and then you can fuck them off. And so you grab their arms with your arm legs and all sorts
Yeah.
of. Get them
You
out.
could probably
stuck in the
climb
waist.
like
Like-
crazy.
Yeah, climbing.
Dog legs that came out of here that like hinge this way.
Yeah,
so you
that'd be
could
awesome.
like just like when you need to go really fast, just tip over and just start booking it
Bounding.
like
Yeah.
and just and like with your arms out front. That'd be
Almost
awesome.
What I've
I
done
used
with
to
Baby
think-
Duke. I need to get him lower.
Yeah. I used to think medical advancements were a lot further along than they actually are. Like people get their arms cut off in like machinery accidents and they get them reattached. I'm like, that's insane. And then I realized that they reattach them, but they really can't use their hands and shit. Like they're just there kind
Not
of.
as well.
Yeah,
No,
they're there for looks. And they're like,
definitely not.
look, it's basically my hand. See?
There are
I'm
some
like,
medical marvels where it's like, that's insane. Like, I mean, I don't know. They went into Aqua. They went into him.
yeah,
They did stuff to him, and now he's still here. Like,
that's true.
go back not that far in time. They would have cut him open and botched
It
it.
was pretty routine.
Yeah, they would have botched
My
it,
dad had like a quintuple bypass or whatever, which is, I think, as invasive, but there's more cutting involved once they're in there.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
he said he's having
Still
like
the same like access point.
yeah.
Yeah.
He had like a lot of nerve damage to his fingertips and stuff. Did you have any of that?
No.
Oh.
I've got like this
Dog.
weird pain that like goes up my neck and like into my head a little bit. But aside from that, no.
Yeah, his goes up his neck and then down his arm. And he's like this finger's numb and then this side of my finger's numb and then the side of this finger's numb. He's like, I have a hard time typing and stuff.
Oh. No.
Yeah. Surgery's
How long
scary.
ago was that?
Surgery
how
is
it-
horrifying.
Yeah, surgery is very
How long
scary.
ago did he have it done?
That was like 5 years ago. And they
oh,
say
that's it? Oh.
they say that there's like you can only get like so many centimeters of nerve growth a year. And he's like, I'm hoping that nerve like reconnects, like whatever they cut reconnects so I can get my goddamn feeling back in my hand. He's like, some of it is
Yikes.
coming back a little bit at a time, but
I
he's
come
hoping-
from a non-doctor trusting family. If I ever need a surgery like that, I'm just gone. I'm out. I'm dead.
My family's been so
like
insanely trusting
I've
of
ever
doctors.
done. I hate like
kind of don't have a choice.
Yeah, no, it points you down, but but also,
what else are you gonna do? Have your friend do it or something?
No,
like
you just die.
Yeah,
like a man.
That's an option.
Yeah,
as
like
well.
a man.
Perish.
That's some pussy that gets heart surgery. And
Yeah,
stays
leave your
around.
channel to your friends, like a man. Just like,
Yeah.
go on and set an auto raid on your Twitch account and just go into the long dark.
All right.
Dude, just like a wisdom tooth was the first time I've ever been on anesthesia, and that was, I hate being like.
That was a weird
I did it in
experience.
college. Like I hate blacking out. Like I hate being where you have to
Just,
ask
like,
people like, what did
losing
I
time.
say? I hate being out of control of my body. That's why even some psychedelics were like, once I'm like, oh, this will be fun. Then I get into it. I'm like, I hate being this like not out of control. Like I don't like not having my basic like without my mind. What am I? You know. And when I woke up, I just don't remember being there. I don't remember like my friend took me into a room and we talked to the doctors. I don't remember any of this. And then like next thing I kind of remember, I look at my phone. I've played him like 4 songs on Spotify already. I don't even fucking remember. I played him like a meme song I've been listening to. And then I like kind of remember him coming home. We went to a CVS that felt like not real. Like it was in an alley. And then I just was on this couch, like watching TV. And I talked to him like that. I was so worried before it. Like, I'm going to shit my pants. Because what happens when your body's out of sleep? Like, I wore very light colored jeans. Do you just piss your pants and shit? Like, when you're that, like, because they got to put tubes in you and stuff. I'm like, I don't know what's going to go on. And the laughing gas wasn't working. So I was already, like, nervous. Because they, like, they cranked that shit up. And I'm like, I don't feel anything. And then when they did the anesthesia, I was like, how long do I have? And he's like, I don't know, maybe 40 seconds if you fight it. And I was like, I'm not going to fight it, but like, this is weird. And then I'm on my couch and it was so weird. And I was so worried about shitting my pants before it that's the only question I asked them. My friend said when I got out, I was like, did I shit my pants? They're like, no, you didn't shit your pants. I'm like, oh. And that was like my only qualm. And then I'm home and then I get,
for you.
I'm like, wow, I actually have some like pressing medical questions about follow-up, but I guess I got my one question. And I didn't like it. Yeah, I did.
No, you're fine.
Like, I don't know. And that's what my mom wanted to take me. I'm like, I just know she'd be like, what's your channel now? Like, while you're, and I told her that. She's like, God, I didn't even think about that till you said it. Like, I wouldn't do that. Yeah, sure.
She would have. Yeah.
I'd call her a slur or something. And I'd be like, oh my God. I was just so nervous. But I survived.
It's not great. I remember being like, are we starting now? And then like, I woke up when it was done. And like, fuck.
Dude, he missed.
That is a weird feeling.
We have like completely like incomparable surgeries. Like obviously yours is much more intense. But he did miss my vein on my right arm and he was digging around and the laughing gas was doing nothing. Like, I don't know if it's because I swear I just have like a weirdly high tolerance with certain like shit like that. And they were cranking it up. And she's like, okay, we're on max. Like, if you start feeling like you're in a tunnel, let me know. I'm like, I was so excited for the laughing gas. I'm like, this is going to be like, I don't know, like Whippets or something. I don't know what it's going to be like. And then I was trying to act tough for doctor. You know, he's just fucking feeling around. I'm like, oh, I don't like needles. And he's like, does it feel like I'm digging around? I'm like, yeah.
I fucking hate that.
Like, are you digging around?
Does it feel like I'm fucking up at my job? Yes, it does.
And he's like, let's
It's
go on the
exactly
other
what it feels
arm.
like.
And then he got one. It was like the smoothest. Like, I'm like, is that what it's supposed to feel like? Nothing. He really did a number on me over here. He's like,
I
you
don't
just
like
don't have
about
any.
those surgery things is they it's so routine for them. This is the most traumatic day of your life.
Yeah, I know. They
And,
were
like,
so.
My
Like,
surgeon,
sweetheart. It's fine. They're like touching my hair and stuff.
not that. Like we saw our surgeon before.
I know, not that is what you mean, but they're so casual.
Like the person's fucking eating a sandwich. Like the surgeon like came in and was just like,
yeah.
So we're gonna go in there and it'll probably be like 30 minutes, 35 minutes or whatever, and we'll be out of here in no time. And then they're just like checking their phone, and I see they have like Angry Birds on their home screen. I'm like, you're just like too much of a
person.
You're just a person.
You're just a goddamn
You're just
person.
Like,
Motherfucker, pay attention. Like, stop looking at your turkey sub and look at my wife. Like, there's a person in there you're trying to get out.
Here's a real person in there. You're a doctor. Be a doctor.
Yeah.
Save
Be a
my
goddamn
human.
cold, calculating surgeon, and don't be so.
Yeah, honestly,
human
people
about it.
shit on the good doctor. I
Yeah.
think I love just a fully autistic doctor that's just
yeah.
only interested in
I want like a
medicine.
monk, like not like a monk, but like the show Monk.
monk.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like an autistic doctor type
I'd take
guy.
a
that's
house.
Yeah.
Like, nah, he's too
kind of an
sassy.
asshole, but
sassy.
I know he'd get the job done in the end. I'd also take a John Dorian of sorts, or maybe a Dr. Cox if you're more.
Well,
of a
I don't know.
scrub.
John
House, I
Dorian
would-
would be fun.
John Dorian would get me
Yeah.
right. Or I'd be one of his like one every once in a while sad episodes where a patient dies, and then I'd further the story along though, and I'd help them grow as doctors, which I'd be okay with.
I would not want anybody from Grey's Anatomy.
They'd be
Abby
fucking
watches
in a
that a
closet.
lot.
Well, I'm getting
they're-
well, my heart's
You're never like concerned about the surgery. It's always there's some bullshit
something
going
other
on.
drama. Yeah,
Yeah.
going on. I'm like,
Fucking each other, or somebody's cheating on somebody else, and it's like
I've got a tooth. You got to get out of my mouth. Okay, this is life or death.
Their
Stop
head
fucking
isn't
around.
in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
They're off in the
well, there's
not
way
good.
too many scenes where it's like what's her face is the main lady, Gray, whatever her name is, something Gray from Grey's Anatomy, and she's like in the middle of surgery, and she'll just have like a like narration going on of what she's thinking about. It's never the surgery. She's daydreaming while she's elbow deep in somebody. She's always
I'm
like, I
gonna
wonder
go to
what
the city
hunky
this weekend."
doctor's doing right now, and is it gonna work out with this person? My roommate isn't whatever. And
I'm
like,
gonna put on makeup after this and go shopping.
Like blood squirts
Yeah.
out, like hits her in the eye.
damn bitch, pay attention.
Oh,
So you got to get a good male autistic doctor that
Yep.
just gets right into it. Doesn't worry about it. No,
No, doesn't have any social anything going on
no
in
he's
his
not
life.
fucking any nurses back
Nope.
there. He's just
It's no
worried
pussy.
about it. Yeah.
he does that. Goes home, plays like Operation.
Operation, yeah.
My
Buzzes.
favorite
Ah,
fucking
shit.
game. Buzzes. He pulls out an
Honing his
eyelash.
skills at all time.
Gotta punish. Yeah.
Yeah, he could get the wishbone out and everything.
Yeah. That's
I
who
forgot about
want.
Operation. That game rocked.
Game sucks.
Yeah.
dude.
What?
It's cool technology.
It
I'll
scared
admit,
me.
but yeah, I
It
wasn't
scared
good
me
at it because
too.
I got shaky little hands. So, don't
Have
really-
you
it's
seen
like-
that,
it's
that
very
alligator
upsetting.
game that you're supposed to
oh
like,
yeah,
push
the,
down his
the
teeth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he clamps on you?
What about Hungry Hippos? That's a real game. You guys ever play that?
Oh, yeah.
All the
Yeah,
marbles.
that
and
was,
you're-
yeah, that was a good
That's
game.
just
That
a game
was
of
an
luck.
unbelievable choking hazard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Oh, yeah,
played
for-
that as God. All of my toys as a kid were so fucking dangerous. I remember I had like it was like Easy Bake Oven, but for boys. It wasn't the creepy crawlers thing.
Oh,
It was
Creepy
like this-
Crawlers is dope. I love that.
It was
thing.
sick,
Yeah.
but I had this other thing. It wasn't creepy crawlers. I wanted creepy crawlers, but my parents got me this like metal shop thing where you literally like take a bunch of BBs, melt them down into molten metal, and pour them into like molds, like a
And
skull
make like
with wings on it. Or
lead figurines
yeah,
and
like
shit.
a little lead figurine, but with molten metal that could have
That's sweet, but it's very dangerous.
They
yeah.
got you like a
mangled my
mini-
little kid body.
Just any refinery or something, like a little.
Yeah, it
Like
was
teaching
so
you to be a
crazy.
factory worker.
You just like unlocked something in my head where I had a science kit, but it was from like the 1950s, and someone gave it to my mom to give to me, and it was like a microscope and then like 50 little vials of unmarked like powders and liquids and shit.
Oh,
And
I had that too.
I was just like, what the fuck do I do with this? Like, there was no
You eat
instructions.
it, obviously.
Yeah,
You eat
No,
all of it.
instructions are
Eat it
long
all.
gone.
yeah, but like, I just remember being like, I don't think I should fuck with it. I was very like,
Yeah.
I wasn't
You
really
get to
like a
experimenting.
eat dumb shit kid. Like, I was pretty, not to
Me
toot
too,
my,
yeah.
not to suck my own kid penis, but like, I was pretty, you know, just like. My dad always said I was like an old little man when I was a kid, and I was putting on a front. But I was very like, you got to be careful. This could cause bodily harm. Like, you know, I do some dumb boy shit, but I was always like, I don't really want to get like irreversibly
Fucked
damaged. Yeah, like I'm not gonna open up any of this stuff. Like I don't know,
Sense
it's
of
fucking anti. It was like in a
self-preservation.
little wood box. It was like splintered up wood. I'm like, I don't think this
Yeah,
is
I don't
a toy.
get the kids that were like that.
Yeah.
These kids that would just like
I'm gonna eat this
fucking
glue.
put everything
Yeah.
in their mouth.
I wonder if they're
instantly,
just, like-
stuck it on water bottle caps, just like,
You were talking
with the
about
water
hungry,
bottle
hungry
on the bus and
hippos
stuff.
being
Yeah,
a
you eat those
danger.
little
I
things.
had this game where you had like a big cherry tree, and then you would, I forget what you would do. You would like hang the cherries on the branches, and I shoved so many of those hard plastic cherries up my nose that we had to go to the
Why?
doctor, and
Like,
they had to.
Oh, you were that
I
fucking
never
guy.
had it, like,
They
those
had to
kid
use
moments
long
where-
tweezers to pull these fucking things out of my nose.
So yeah, it's such a weird
You were
like kid
a
instinct.
real
for-
genius.
Yeah.
A real smarty.
Just get a science kid.
parents.
Nah, they kept that shit away from
I
me,
was
dude.
putting little powders down, storing them up, getting superpowers and shit. Really developing
that
my
was
mind.
called polonium, apparently. I don't know what that means.
I am like an adult baby genius. Like I was quite a boy prodigy, but then I stayed at that level forever. But I had
Boy
some,
genius.
great experiments in that lab and all sorts of things. You guys play Mousetrap?
Dude, nobody
What a
ever set
setup.
up Mousetrap and played it
What a
correctly
setup.
in my family. We would just set up the Rube Goldberg machine and then just let it go.
Yeah. My dad and
No
I
one
would play it all
actually
the time,
played
and
Mousetrap.
well, I played it, but yeah, it kinda
Really?
sucks,
You knew the rules?
when I was a kid, yeah.
What the fuck?
My dad and I would play. We played. I mean,
Really? I never actually played a game of Mousetrap. We just
yeah, it
had
was a
it.
fun game.
We
Really?
never had it, but my cousins did that we would see all the time, and they were missing like half the pieces, and I was so fucking stoked every time to set up Mousetrap, even though it never worked right. All the pieces were missing.
It's such
never
a
knew
cool
how to
idea
play.
for a board game.
I was all about it, though.
It's a little bit of work, but
Oh,
quite
you
the
know what was
reward.
my favorite toy at somebody else's house was in Star Trek. What's Harrison Ford's ship?
Dude, come on!
Star
Don't play
Trek or
dumb
Star
like
Wars?
Or
this.
Star
You-
Wars, Star Wars. The
Jesus.
Harrison
Millennium
Ford
Falcon.
ship. Millennium
Christ.
Falcon. He had a
Jesus
giant
Christ.
Millennium Falcon that had pistol grips under it, and you could
Harrison
shoot
Ford right there on
little
the-
discs.
Discs?
The little
Oh,
discs.
yeah,
And then
I had that.
he had like a 2-story house with like the second story looked down on the living room, because that's like where the bedrooms were and stuff. And we would have these. He had 2 of them, and he would have like these. We'd have these fights where he would be like launching the little disc down on me and
Oh,
stuff.
that's sweet.
I used to love going over there and be like, "Where's that fucking spaceship
Where's
thing?" That
Star Trek toy?
Yeah,
And you'd be like,
here's the
God,
Star
this kid
Trek
fucking
toy."
sucks. Jesus. He's Captain Kirk's ship, and he's like, God, Jesus.
I love Picard.
Mom, does this kid have to keep fucking coming over here?
Dude,
and
okay,
yes, at the
Star
end of the
Trek
story,
and
you
Star Wars
broke
are very
it.
similar names. Don't even act like they're not.
Not even.
The only reason I fuck it up is because it doesn't hold any place in my heart. Like I don't.
Yeah,
like,
but you know, you've talked about watching.
I know
Star Wars
I know
movies.
which Star Wars is, and I know which one Star Trek is. But like,
Then
Clearly
why'd you
not.
say
yeah,
it?
Then why'd
because
you
off
say
the
Star
cuff,
Trek?
I'm not gonna remember which stupid show is which because I don't care that
Because-
much about them.
Yeah, because you were too busy shoving shit up your nose and being a
Yeah.
little fucking diarrhea bitch, little
Yep.
fat fucking idiot, while scientists
boy.
were out here watching Star Wars. The less scientific
Playing with
of
your
the two.
1950s like.
Yeah, my
Oh,
Mad
in your
Lab.
lead refinery or whatever the
Yeah.
fuck you were working with. Your parents were trying to get you to
Tinkerers.
be
We were on
a
another level.
blue collar
Our
boy.
parents were trying to kill us.
Yeah, you couldn't even fucking play Mousetrap or whatever. I feel like there was like very minimal rules to it. Like it wasn't that
Rube
crazy.
actually was Jimmy Neutron, a boy genius, boy prodigy, until he did the wrong experiment.
So something
And
blew
now
up
look.
in my face and put a mustache on me and shattered my brain, smoothed it, complete.
Do you guys remember
what a
those
shame.
shows where they would people would build robots and then fight them?
Yeah,
Yeah, BattleBot.
BattleBots.
Yeah.
I remember when those came out and they were on TV.
I wish they were visually cooler, but sorry, go.
I know, right? Like
Wish they were like,
everybody,
but they're like a
no,
little
the
Roomba
first
with fucking-
seasons. The first seasons, people had some wacky ones.
Okay.
And then they really became meta, and they were like, it's
yeah, they got to hunt what's the
low
most
to the ground.
streamlined. Yeah.
and it has a little flipper, and that's about it. Like that's like
Maybe if you're really exciting, a big hammer comes down.
Oh, sometimes there would be like, come on, like I'm here to have a show. It's gonna be a big
We'll get the
ice
crowd
pick
going.
or something. Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
I
flamethrower.
love the ones that like shot the fire. Yeah, the flamethrowers. Like, what the fuck is that?
I saw a
gonna
couple
do?
that they just had like circular saw blades all over it, and like the people would put it down like, like holy shit, this thing's horrifying. Surprised you didn't lose limbs while
Don't
making
turn it on until
Yeah.
I set it down.
But I remember watching
Yeah.
that as a kid, and I was like, dude, I gotta make one of these. Like those are so cool. And so my mom is just like, you know, once again, parents are divorced. My mom's just like, whatever, like shut up. Yeah. And so she brings me to Barnes and Nobles, and I get like this like building like little robots for dummies book. and then I ride around on my bike I'm trying to find stuff to build a robot with because my mom's like, I'm not gonna bring you to a robot store and drop hundreds of dollars on robot shit. Like, where am I even gonna find that stuff? So basically, I rode around and I found someone's like satellite dish that they had thrown out on the curb, and I put that on the back of my bike, and I brought that back home. And I never really
nailed a wood plank to it.
I never understood. See, now you get why like I had such a fondness for Ed, Edd and Eddy. Like I kind of lived a little bit of that childhood. I was just a dumb.
That's why I like codename Kid Next Door. Okay, because
well, they had 2x4 technology. I hadn't unlocked that yet. All right, they were actually doing shit. Ed, Edd and Eddy, they were always ending in failure.
Yeah,
but yeah, I never really figured out that there needed to be like stuff working inside
robotics.
Robotics. that whole part
circuitry,
of it, that eluded me.
It's a lot for a kid. Like that's a lot for an adult to like.
Well, I was like 14, I think. Oh. I was a little youngster. I was a youngster.
You probably were like 12.
I drove my car over to the dump. Filled it up with
Technics. Oh, here we go. Electrics. Yeah, put this in.
I just couldn't understand why it wouldn't
power
go.
Outlet. Put that on there. Were you like big into
an extension cord around it?
My house was being like built around me as I was growing up. So there's always like loose construction shit around. Like they just throw like planks and stuff. Were you like big on like I was such a like cool phase when you're a kid where you just go off and like build shit. Like I'd build little wooden things, like little castles or something for my knights to play in, or you like just tinker up weird little like found garbage little things.
I would do a lot of like putting 50 nails into one 2x4.
Jesus Christ, you were a little fucking kid, dude. Holy shit.
Yeah, dude, I could put them nails in there, dude. As many as you wanted into one 2x4, I could put them on there.
Man, did he like to use that hammer?
Oh, dude, I could almost hit the nail every time.
How are you as smart as you are now? With how fucking stupid every like
I had no goddamn foundations for life. All right, I had to build myself up.
Dude, no one was like teaching me this shit either. But maybe I wasn't watching as much Ed, Edd and Eddy or something. Yeah. I was getting like, okay, so plans can work. I was, I was watching a lot of Johnny Bravo strutting around. Getting
you have no idea how much like being supportive to a little kid. I'm sure your parents were like, "Oh, go on, you do it, honey."
No. I just more do it behind their back type of deal. I don't think they would.
Yeah, I would like burn stuff a lot. I was one of those kids.
A couple episodes I talked about this, but I did a lot of like I would find like weird like anarchy recipes online.
Yeah,
and then I would make them. Yeah, and so I did go through like a Sid from Toy Story phase for a little bit.
I didn't even get that far. I was just like getting like toilet paper and like bug spray, putting them together and lighting it on fire and being like, holy shit. Like,
do you remember the recipes of just cooking shit in the microwave? Not like actual food, but like take a CD or re-recordable CD or whatever and like put it upside down in a microwave and you see all the lightning go everywhere. Or tinfoil and stuff.
If you cut a grape in half but leave a little bit of skin, do not do this in your microwave, dear viewer. But it makes like a little like plasma arc between them, but it also like emits like the gas it gives off makes it's very bad. You shouldn't use that microwave to eat in after it. But my friend and I did that a lot in like
what,
8th
grape
grade.
skin?
Yeah. It's like we did it for like a.
This makes me not want to use my microwave ever.
No, like it was like for an experiment we were doing for like a class. We like found it on something and we're like, whoa, this is cool. But like we had to buy like a microwave from Goodwill to use it with because there was some sort of like in the video that people were like, and don't be doing this all the time in your regular microwave because either there's a risk of something going wrong in it or I'm pretty sure it's like, I mean, I guess I could probably just Google it. And that way I could have like a real maybe answer, or the people were just fucking with me and I bought a microwave for nothing. Then I'd be
the people that told you to buy a microwave, did they own a microwave store?
No, I bought it from fucking Goodwill. Yeah, microwave store. Kid, come here. You want to hear some grapes? You got grapes? I got a whole bushel of grapes. I love grapes. And he's like, come here.
Eat them all in one
No, you
sitting.
can't do this in your home microwave. You got to get one of mine.
And get diarrhea.
No, but that putting a CD upside down in a microwave is badass. It would, for like half a second, it would just go like and do lightning everywhere. And those were back in the days when like my mom would buy. It was just a bunch of recordable CDs, so you could make like mixed.
Oh yeah, we had a big stack of those too.
Yeah, but she would buy one, and like a week later, that stack would be down to like here, like 10 CDs left, and she'd be like, what the fuck? Like, where are they going? And part of it was my brother had mono, and so he was making mono mega hits, which was like these CD mixes for like him to just listen to music while he had mono in his room in isolation. And then part of it was me microwaving about 40 CDs because I got like 1 second of satisfaction. But yeah, leaving like little boys alone at the house, that was not a good idea.
Yeah, it's bad news. Yeah. They're destructive.
I was always cooking up some shit.
Yeah, it makes a plasma fireball, but I'm not seeing anything now where it's like, honestly, I bet it was just our parents being like, you can't do this in my fucking microwave.
Yeah.
And then we just had to get a microwave for it. But we were doing that all the time. It was cool. Like it does make like you can YouTube it. Like it makes like an interesting little like bzz. But you have to leave them attached. The skin has to be attached between the two halves. It's
And then what if you like microwave food after? You say it like that's like
I'm not seeing. No, that's what I thought, but now I'm not seeing anything about that. So maybe that's totally
good.
Yeah, like our parents just being like, "Don't fucking burn down my house."
My mom was a big like, "Don't stand in front of the microwave."
Yeah,
person.
same. Yeah, or like, give it a couple seconds when it's done. Don't open that right away.
Yeah,
or your head will.
I don't trust those things.
Yeah, I know. I think all that stuff where it's like now, if I Googled it, I'd probably be like, "That's ridiculous," but that stays with you when you're an adult.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm very cautious of a lot of things where I'm like, it's probably pseudoscience, but whatever, I'm not going to change.
Me and Bryan had this
pop
video
that open.
That we would watch. We watched it for like 2 nights straight. We would sit there and just laugh at it. And it was that kid microwaving the glow stick.
Oh my God. Your shirt, your beautiful shirt. Yeah,
and he takes it out and he's like, look, he has it so close to his eyes. He's like looking at it and it just blows up and sends piping hot radioactive goo into his eyeballs. And he gets some on his like dress shirt. He's wearing like a shirt like you're wearing, but it was buttoned up like all the way. And his dad rushes in there. His kid's eyes are just like, ah! And the dad immediately goes like, well, what did you do? Your shirt, your awesome shirt. You got it all over your awesome shirt.
I'd really like to see that.
That video fucking rocks. That's up there. By the way, it was around the same time that you used to always quote that damn ass rock video.
Oh,
It's like another legendary
That's a classic. Yeah, just like 2 aliens trying to figure out how to like
shit. Look at like
kids
like
that age rock, dude.
Look at like 56 seconds.
Pee on it?
Yeah, want to pee on it?
In this video. Like a minute is when it goes off, but
I don't know. They got music too.
Whoa!
Yeah. Wait, when did you say a minute?
Yeah, go to like 56 seconds and watch it for like 5 seconds.
Dude, the
a little
music
one
in this is hyping this up way too much.
Yeah. Well, it's pretty crazy how big it gets for just a fucking grape. Maybe it is. Yeah, you're not supposed to eat the grape or something.
It's infused with radiation.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's how Godzilla was made.
Honestly, now I'm starting to think my parents probably watched this too once and were like, you cannot do that in this fucking
Yeah, they
microwave.
probably just had like a built-in microwave and they were like, don't fucking break our microwave.
Yeah. Just against the wall.
You ever like catch a bee and freeze it and like tie a string to it?
I could never do like
and flies around on a string.
Like,
I did that once.
I was always like the guy if my friend smashed like a bug. I'm like, you fucker! Like, what are you doing? Like my mom's
I'm
like big
that
animal.
now.
My mom's a big
I
animal.
can't kill bugs anymore.
Yeah.
And my wife commits horrible bug genocide every single. I'm like, stop! You don't need to kill it. She's like, yes, I do. And then she just like slams it in the most brutal way possible.
Yeah,
it's awful.
It's probably the most mad I've ever been at my like best friend is when we were kids. He had like a real like serial killer streak. Probably wouldn't like me talking about this because he's like not like this at all anymore. But like. There's these cute little toads.
Man, I have to pee, dude.
I have to piss pretty bad too. But
I do too. I've been holding it
Okay,
for
let's
a
just
while.
take a pee break real quick then.
Okay, all right.
That works way better. I've been holding it for a goddamn 40 minutes.
I'm back.
Little tip: if you push when you pee, you get back faster, like me.
Damn, dude. Yeah, but here's a little Linus tech tip. Here's a little, actually not a tech tip. It's a warning. Stalt told me a horror story, which he'll probably tell it better than me because, well, he's gonna listen to this and probably be like, "You're telling my story wrong." But he was like, I was pissing one time and I was like pushing, trying to get finished sooner.
I don't actually push, by the way.
Oh, really?
I was kidding.
I kind of just do a
you.
full body relax after he told me this horror story. He was pushing hard, and all of a sudden he fucking like dislodged a kidney stone, and it like went like just instantly the sharpest pain he's ever felt. And he said his knee buckled and then hit the fucking porcelain bowl, and he just like collapsed in agony, like
That is terrifying to me.
Yeah, and he said
God.
like maybe. If I hadn't pushed, it would be a more gradual, like something hurts and I need to go get it checked out. But
I don't like that.
knows? Yeah, I've never had a kidney
I don't
stone,
actually push. And
I'm scared because
just
all I
real
drink is
quick.
like sody pops and like sweet tea and shit. It's not good.
You don't drink water.
LaCroix.
Yeah, that's mostly what's in this. That's mostly what's in sweet tea.
It's just like
Coffee's
dirty
made
water.
with water. Yeah, it's all just dirt water.
Yeah.
Kidneys flush all that shit out. Turn it into little stones, I guess. I just haven't. I'm making some pearls. I'm sure. I just haven't. None of them come to fruition.
My family likes sweet tea way too much for me to not have something in me mounting because I
Do you
don't
guys
really drink a lot of soda.
Sweet tea up there?
It's we've talked about it. A lot of like our comfort food is like this. It's Southern food.
Oh yeah, because
like
they're all like
Kentucky. It's not even really the South, but it is like Appalachian people. It's all sweet tea, chicken and dumplings, fucking biscuits and gravy, all that shit.
the good stuff.
Fried chicken. It's like fucking delicious, but it's
awesome.
not good for you.
It's horrific.
Which
for
is
you.
funny because it's like, oh, we're so healthy. My mom says. Then my grandma eats like a fucking, like out of a pig trough, eating all her goddamn gravy and butter, and she's got no problem with that. And then it's like, I can eat that, so I can drink sweet tea. It's like, it's not healthy, but it's like it's like a stigma against it. Like, I don't know. I've got a weird.
It's like so sweet.
I love it,
crazy.
dude. Well,
Dude,
because
you
I
and
was
lettuce
raised.
have like a. You've voiced your hatred of sweet tea before. I feel like
can't
don't you
believe
not
that.
like it?
I like vaguely remember a conversation about this, but I like kind of don't remember
I
it
know
now.
lettuce really does not like it, and I'm like, you realize you don't have to put that much sugar in it, right? You can sweeten to.
I like it pretty sweet.
It's not like it doesn't have to be like McDonald's sweet tea, you know.
I have like an uncapped sweet tooth though because I couldn't have sweets when I was a kid. So then when you're unleashed on the world, you just like. I see it now in my little sister. It's so sad. She can eat a cupcake in 2 seconds because it's like you can't have that stuff, and it's like we're all just like little candy fiends when we get it. But I can control it. Like I don't drink soda. Really, I'll have a Diet Coke once a while. So good.
I don't drink soda really.
It's awesome.
I'm kind of on juice right now though.
yeah,
I like
see, I don't
juice.
have juice
I got this
either.
like cranberry raspberry juice.
cranberry juice.
Oh my
I was like,
god.
I was allowed to
Sparkling
drink that one.
cranberry? Are you kidding
Yeah,
me?
ocean spray. That's that good
that's
shit.
that good
Damn. I'm like a little kid again. I love
Probably
juice.
is good for you. Isn't it good for your kidneys, or is that like a?
I don't know.
Eh, it's like a diuretic or something.
Oh fuck!
Yeah,
I
it
don't need
is,
to
let me
piss
tell ya.
anymore, dude. I'm already like scared how much I piss when I start drinking
You
stuff.
do kind of.
I piss a lot.
You
I
piss a lot, dude.
I do more now.
Just
Like I
constantly-
can't
Well, I
make
know,
it
but I'm
through,
not.
like,
You're
car
fucking
rides
old,
anymore.
dude. Like, I'm
Yeah.
not saying like you're old. I'm saying I'm not as old as you.
Oh, I am. I'm
and
old.
I pee 1 hour on the dot every stream now, basically.
Yeah, he pees a lot.
And I'm
You guys
trying
have
to get
that
a
problem
diaper
where like
sponsorship.
you're like I don't have to pee, but you find yourself dribbling all over yourself.
Just out of nowhere.
It's out of nowhere.
Nope. I can
Like,
I just
just
hold my
urinating
pee for a
in
long
your
time,
pants.
so I probably
Yeah.
will.
You ever just like get up?
Sometimes
from,
I
from
like I
playing
smell
at the
poop
computer
and
and
it's
you're
just like in my butt.
yeah, it's just falling out of it.
Yeah. It's just like poop all in my chair. I'm like,
No, I don't just leak into
You
my
don't just
own
like your
pants.
penis doesn't just leak every now and then.
After I pee, I'll tell you this. This is a new development in the past couple of years. After I pee, there is some like leaking, dribbling, going. Like it's not like a
That's why you
hard
always
cutoff
shake.
anymore. You know, like there's a lot that it's
I
like you
find
really got to
myself-
wring that thing
Oh
out.
yeah. Or I'm not
It's
gonna wear
like,
khakis to function.
Like I got
you know?
shit to do.
Dude, I remember a couple years ago I described to you, instead of the shake, I've developed a new method. And the new method
Yeah,
was
you got-
in response to the dribble problem.
Yes.
And so
yes.
now I
We've talked
grab it
about
from
this
the base
before,
and
yeah.
I just go, yeah, and I yank it to the end. And it
Wring
pulls
out your penis.
fucking, I give it
you
an
have
Indian
to.
burn and fucking get every little dribble out of there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
No,
bad.
No, you just
I
do
don't
it like
know
a
what
tube
the
of
fuck
toothpaste,
happened.
you know, from the bottom all the way to the tip, you give it a fucking
Getting
Someone
old
on my
is a
stream
nightmare.
told me you have to like
comes for us all.
push this spot like underneath, like in the like gooch area. There's like you
His
like
finger in
push
his
up
ass in
there.
order to get all the pee
Yeah,
out.
see, there's this thing, the
Like,
prostate.
I'm sorry, I don't
and,
have time to fully take my pants off and start fucking digging around in there.
You know-
I'm not gonna do that.
You know what
Put
my
it up on the
Sorry.
toilet. Fucking
my
digging in there.
great pee shame is?
I have like stuff to do. Like I can't do this every hour.
My like
Sorry.
I want to say it's like for a long time it was like my probably most heralded secret, but I mean I've talked about it on my stream. I've probably talked about it on the podcast before, but like my whole life I was like I'm a freak, like I'm a monster, because I'm like I can't piss next to someone if I'm not comfortable. Like I get so in my head about it's like exactly like waiting where it's like I don't hear, like I overthink it so much where I'm like at a urinal, a guy walks next to me, I'm like, why doesn't he hear me peeing? And then I'm like, well, now it's been a little long, like now it's been like 5-10 seconds, like I would be peeing by now if I were a normal person. So I tuck it in and I leave. And I've had so many instances where I'm like, I walk out of the bathroom, I've got a full fucking tank. Or I'll just like, that's why, you know, stalls,
Just
man's
give up.
best friend.
Yeah.
But like in high school, oh my God, it was a nightmare. Because it's just like, it's weird too, because it's like, I don't care if someone just like looks at my penis like that. It's like, that's not the fear. It's like this psychosomatic.
Can't let that muscle go.
Yeah,
for
like,
some
I'm just
reason.
like-
yeah.
And one of the worst I ever had was I was at the wedding of the daughter of that meathead, and I was in the bathroom, 3 urinals. I'm at the far right one. I'm like, somebody, please,
He
God, take
comes
the
in.
far left. He comes into the bathroom, and I'm like, I haven't started yet. If I know if I walk into a bathroom, I'm like, I've got about 5 seconds to start pissing, or like if someone walks in, I'm fucked. So I'll run over there. I'm like, oh, come on.
What about the stall? Can you use the
Yes,
stall?
I can use the stall, much easier. But still,
Okay.
sometimes if it's like too quiet, I'm like, he would still be like, why isn't he peeing?
I don't
hear any pee in there. And so I'm like, oh God. And he walks in, he goes to the far left urinal. I'm like, you know, I'm like, hey, how's it going? Oh God. And then my principal from my high school walks in, and he takes the middle one, and they're like best friends. And I was just like, come on, I like tuck it in, fucking wash my hands. I got no piss on them or anything. I got no piss anywhere, and walk out. And like, it's haunted me for so long where it's like, I'll be going to the bathroom. My friend's like, oh, I'll go with you. I'm like, I'd rather you not. I'd rather just go by. But I've always had to be like, I was always so sneaky and subtle about it. And now finally, like all my IRL friends, I'm like, dude, like I need a minute. Like just hold up. Like I got this complex.
Get the hell out.
Or like some of them still don't know. And
If there's sufficient walls, it helps.
yeah, no,
because then you
absolutely.
can kind of like focus in.
yeah, if
and
I
like,
can dial in, but if I'm just pissing, there's a person directly next to me, or even 3 over. I'm like,
yeah, no, I have that too. Actually,
I figured you would, and that's why I brought it up. It's a certain type of man has this issue. Yeah, it's
we're
I've just never
dozens of us.
attempted
dozens
to
of us,
like
dozens.
use a urinal in a public restroom that didn't have like a lock on the door. Like if I'm going into a public bathroom, I'm using the stall.
But could you use the urinal?
I don't know. I've never really tried.
That's
sometimes you
impossible
feel
that
like-
you've never used a urinal.
Sometimes.
with the
No,
person
I've
next to you.
used
Sometimes
them, but
it
it's
feels
like
you have to use the urinal. It's like, why don't you use the urinal?
Yeah,
What are
because
you using the stall for?
because it's like
And
I'm
then I
not
feel
taking
like
a
I have to
shit.
use the urinal, and then I can't do it.
I know what you mean. Yeah, it's a problem that's haunted me my entire life.
What's wrong
'cause-
with you? What are you hiding?
Yeah, I'm like, why would I be going in the stall? My friend knows I had to piss. I just said it, and I go in there. I blow my nose a little. Is anybody still out there? The golf course I went to the other day, fucking 2 urinals, smack dab. I'm like, I'm going to run in real quick, my friends. I'll join you. And I go in there. I'm like, actually, I'm going to grab some concessions real quick. It's like my dirty secret.
I don't need to go anymore.
Yeah, I'm like, I'll meet you in there. And then I buy my concessions. I'm like, he's still fucking in there, man. Like, when I go in,
he probably has his
still,
pants down and is like he's holding the end of his penis, like waiting for poop to get in here. So he can start this thing.
I go in, he's still by the urinal. I'm like, oh, now I gotta blow my nose, allergies. I go in there and like I get out and I'm like, get the fuck out of here. And he finally leaves. I'm like, yeah, I think I'm gonna piss now in the urinal. And the whole time, I'm just always like, no one walk in, please, God, don't walk in here. It's such a weird like.
You know what
complex.
it is? You've built it up so much now.
Yeah, it's in me.
Like
it's part of me. It's part of me for life.
It's the same.
If I'm drunk, though, I can go into a urinal. I'm just, because you're all like loose. You're not thinking about shit. But it's much easier if I'm wasted.
Have you ever been to like
really
a festival or a concert or anything where they have like the big piss trough?
Yeah, I can't use those.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yeah, the old Yankee Stadium.
Also, it
had
probably
that.
doesn't help that my soft penis is nothing like my hard penis. If I had maybe. If I were in a grower, I don't know. Maybe there's some psychology there. But I think it's more in the mind.
Yeah.
I can't do it. It's
prep before you go in there,
Come on, please. Slap her. No, it's just like it's just weird.
I gotta pee.
It's so hard to like when you're in fucking junior high or high school. It's like I can't explain this to my friends. They'll fucking destroy me. It's like this is not something junior high boys are ready to talk about. So I just have to hide it my whole life. And I've been
it's a very shameful.
Very good at getting around it most of the time, but there's been times where I'm like, oh my God, like I'm gonna fucking bust because I just went in there and now it's like, well, now I have to wait like a regular amount of time to go back in the bathroom or at least like 10 minutes or my friends are gonna be like, dude, you were just in the bathroom. What are you doing? I'm like, no. I'm like I'm just like this outcast, like it's really tough for me. Peeing. I have to know the peeing situation. I have to know the bathroom situation. It's like my parking. Like I have to know.
Wait, how did you just use a stall every time, Sam? It doesn't add up.
It doesn't add up why a normal person that doesn't have this would not just
I think I do have that, but I just avoid it by using a stall.
You do have it though.
Yeah.
But you don't. But don't you think it's weird? Like if you go in there and like someone's like, "I'll go with you," and then
then you go into the stall
you're
and
like,
you don't have to
in the
poop.
stall.
Well, no, because she has no social.
Yeah,
awareness.
no, like I go like, hey, yeah, I'm gonna use a stall because if I'm mid piss and someone fucks with me at the urinal, then you have no recourse.
Adults don't fuck with you at a urinal.
Yeah, adults are supposed to not fuck with people, but people get killed by adults all the time. Right? Adults are irrational
what
people.
if you're only with your friends and you're like
I do this.
No,
thing
I'm
where
more
I,
likely to get like I feel like I'm never at. Yeah, more.
I do that to my dad.
Yeah, exactly.
Too,
like someone shoving you or doing something to you. Like that's gonna happen
funny.
more with a friend than a regular person.
Doing it with like your parents, that's the worst. Like my dad's like, yeah, let's go to the bathroom. I'm like, oh God, I'm not ready for this talk, Dad. I can't tell you the weird machinations of my penis and my mind and how it all connects.
I never got the whole.
It's called pee shyness.
There's like a piss like culture out there. You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, while we were at Creator Clash, they had that huge wall of urinals, and when I walked in, I think it was like Omid, Devin, and somebody else.
I didn't even see urinals in that bathroom. The one where the guy was on the ground?
No.
That bathroom was perfect. Only stalls. I'm like, I don't have a single excuse to be using. It's just what people are using.
Well, it was probably then a bar or something.
But
I remember they were like lined up, and they had gaps in between them. They had a urinal in between them.
To be a man that could have camaraderie at the urinal and joke with my friends, and we're all pissing.
Well, they were talking about like, urinal etiquette, and then they were like, and we'll see where Sam comes, where he's going to piss. And I walk in, I just look at him, and I just went into a stall because I'm like, why would I even?
Yeah, well, it's
a little room with a lock on it. Like, why wouldn't you use it? If you were given the option between pissing on a wall,
what if there is, Sam, what if
in a
there
locked
is
room?
One stall, as many bathrooms have, and it's locked, and someone's shitting. And then there's a guy by the urinal.
Oh, yeah, I wait.
One open urinal.
I'll wait.
You wait?
I'll wait. Yeah, I'll wait.
I've done that before at bars where I'm like, I really, even with like being drunk, I'm like, I really can't piss with all these dudes. Like where it's like 15 lined up.
If it's too crowded, I can't. I'm not gonna let
no
loose.
dividers.
Yeah. There's times where it's like, you're like, I don't want to crowd this guy. Like it's better. It's more normal for me to wait.
I'm not even worried about that. I'm worried about I physically could not piss next to this guy. Even like if I go into a stall and there's someone shitting on either side, it's like it's gonna take a second.
Yeah, no, I'm not really worried about that though. But it like makes it so like my thing is like hidden. It's like okay.
I know you mean. Or I'm like, whoo, a lot of room in this stall. Like it's cozy in here. Why wouldn't I use it like
honestly,
Sam? But it's all a
anybody
lie.
who can just like go in there, walk right in the middle urinal, and just rip a piss and just start like making these noises and shit. I don't trust you. You're unhinged, and I can't deal with
that. That comfortable with having their back to a room and loosening their asshole muscle and just pissing.
Dude, you're not. You're making shit. I'm not worried. At least I'm not worried about goddamn it.
That's what I'm worried about.
I'm not worried about bandits grabbing me up.
No, it's not bandits. It's just like you're in a vulnerable position.
People piss in public restrooms. Psychotic. You're like a fucking nut job casing out every exit and every place you ever go in.
That's my concern. Is it's in a moment where I have to dedicate
you're a shy
30
pisser,
seconds. 30 seconds to pissing.
Made this
I can't
excuse up.
Is that what it is? I'm a shy pisser.
I feel like you're just a shy pisser.
No, I am a shy pisser, but my reasons are different than you. You were like
John Wick.
Yeah. No, I'm just. It's like you have like. I can't like if you come in and fucking like go like there's a whatever
I'm checking my six.
In a bathroom, you're in the middle of pissing. I can't just get up and walk out.
See those in a stall, you're almost more vulnerable because they bust that door down. You're caged.
Yeah, that's true. Hit me in the back of the head. I fall into my own piss.
Yeah, like that door pushes in. Like you're probably fucked if they.
If that's the case, I mean, like go unlock your front door to your house. Like
no, you're the one.
The stall. It gives you like a second. There's like a second that they could. They would have to break that thing open.
No, that's not my.
I know that's not yours. That's mine. It's a security issue. I have a hard time loosening up to let piss out
security issues. Like
if there's someone behind me.
Like you, this fat little kid, you thought when you were a child someone's going to grab you up, okay?
Yeah.
You can piss free. Anyway, you could probably piss in the fucking middle of the room. No, look at your dick, dude. Yeah. But me, cute little kid like me, I gotta be real careful, but that's why. I've told you before, my gym locker room when I was in high school, 2 urinals, okay? The ones that go way out, you gotta stand a fucking foot back, right where everyone's changing. And then 2 stalls, but the stalls don't have, it seems illegal. Stalls don't have doors, and the walls are only about this tall, and everyone's changing in front of you, so people would just sit there and take a shit in front of everyone. And the teacher, the meathead's office is in the locker room. And it's so weird, because not only, a regular stall door doesn't protect the stink, but I swear to God, this is stinkier if there's nothing. But like kids are just sitting there like shitting out their ass. Kids are pissing in front of everyone. It was like a literal war zone for me in there. Like I don't think I ever once pissed, or I certainly never shit in there. But every soccer practice, I'd get bussed out to the field. I'd be like, I'm so full of piss and shit, but I'm not going to use that. Like I just have to go in the woods.
Do you understand how fucked we are if any of us gets into prison? Like, just having to just shit in your stall, knowing that you can see the other guy
prison is
across
the bathroom
hall.
Situation. That's like genuinely every time I think about prison, I'm like, I would not be able to piss in.
Yeah, you gotta like,
or
shit,
like you're in a cell with another dude, and you have like one toilet.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kill the biggest, toughest guy in there, and I'm gonna be set with that aspect. But the pissing situation, not good. Not good. I probably have to keep killing my bunkmates.
You adapt. I got much better at it when I went to college.
See, college
I
for me,
had to.
It didn't like even when I have to.
He killed the big dude, which is really impressive, but he can't piss in front of everybody.
Oh, you're talking about
the
doing a hypothetical. There's a movie called The New Guy where he goes to prison and he's got to beat up the big guy. I thought you were making a reference.
No,
to
wait.
Niche
What is
movie
that?
I love.
Oh, wait, that's Let's Go to Prison.
Yeah, no, this is.
I love that movie.
This is like an early 2000s comedy that's pretty bad, but so just one that I latched onto when I was a kid. That guy had no problem pissing though. I don't know. I guess we're all just a bunch of freaks. I bet Bryan pisses in a urinal. He's fine.
I feel like Bryan would probably be into like a piss fetish or something.
Yeah.
Probably
Now
gets
he's
a
not here to
boner
defend
as he
himself.
pees.
Yeah. He probably, every time we go in a stall, he's like, damn it. I wanted to look at that guy's dick and get
I wanted
hard.
to see the pee coming out of it. That's the
I
exciting
want to
part.
see the
Yeah.
shakes. He puts saran wrap beforehand to the bottom. He collects them up.
You should ask him like how to like end that little dribble at the end. I bet he knows all about it.
I bet he just fucking pulls up his pants and gets it everywhere.
Yeah.
Or he pulls his pants all the way down, like to the
yeah.
around his ankles.
Dude.
Yeah.
I
It's
had
like that too, freaky little bastards.
I had
You're in
like
third grade. Don't put your fucking pants down.
I took a shit at my in-laws' house, and this is like the fucking worst thing that I've done in terms of like, you can't explain it. Like if you dribble on the front of your pants, you can do like, I wash my hands and get some
There's
water
a
on the
hand
front.
or a hair dryer or something.
Yeah, some bullshit excuse. Oh, the pants
Like
with the
Dumb
2
and
dots
Dumber.
on the crotch. I bought them like that.
Yeah, my calico pants or whatever.
Yeah. No, I brought my pants down to my fucking knees. They were awfully high up, but I was like, I don't want my pants all the way down touching the floor. So I kind of like had them up at my knees. And then I sat down on the toilet. And when I shit, I also like pissed a little bit. And I pissed down the ass of my pants. And so when I pulled up my pants, it just looked like I had liquid shit going down my pants.
Oh, nightmare.
Yeah, and I was just like, I didn't even fucking, I can't say I like washed my hands and got just, like water up my asshole or whatever. It was just a perfect line of piss where
I
it went down
washed
the
my
back.
hands, and then I had a really big itch. Even that's
Well,
not
even
good.
like when explaining it, like it's just funny,
Yeah.
and so I was just like, I just like shot piss onto the back of my pants, like
You
What
told
you
him?
did?
like fuck, like own up to it. I mean, it's better than walking around and trying to like put my ass up against walls as I'm talking
I would
to
just
people.
be like facing them the whole time until I made my escape, dude. I would never
Honestly,
concede.
I think that would be worse.
No.
Telling them what
Yeah.
I peed.
Yeah.
So you have open pee out in my house right now, and I'm gonna let you sit on the couch.
Dude, I'm sorry, man. I fucked up, pissed on the back of my pants.
I
It's
married
kinda
your
funny, though.
daughter.
Scam, just go home. Just get the fuck out of here.
I don't know. I
Just
think it's
leave.
funnier to just be like, check out what just happened. Isn't that embarrassing? But
It's being like brutally honest about certain stuff like that. It's like can be very endearing and funny and like a good truthful experiment. But in that in-laws house, man, I'd probably fucking
dude,
try to get
they
a rag.
already are like not too
Yeah,
hot on me.
that's
So I'm
fair.
like, pissing
I
in the
guess
back of my
if you
own
had like
pants
just
isn't the
started
worst thing I've
dating, I
done.
wouldn't. Yeah, but if that's too late. It's too late. You're too dug in.
Yeah.
You ever like after you like maybe you came and then you don't piss for a minute and then you piss and it like whew, shoots out somewhere wild, and like sometimes maybe it's like you go somewhere like you don't even anyway, sometimes you start pissing, it just shoots somewhere. One of my biggest fears is because I've had it before. It's like I'm in my own home, I shoot a wall, I'm like, oh shit, I gotta clean it up. But like being in a public restroom and someone shitting next to me and I shoot piss on their foot because I once had like a rocky start where it like hit the seat everywhere and was splat. I was like, whoa. And then I'm like, or like you're like pissing with a boner, so like something weird's going on with the system. But I've always been like, because I'm a stall pisser, I'm like always so fearful of like lift off. I'm like, what if I just pissed on that guy? Because he'd have to say something. Like he would be very angry, or he'd be like, oh, and then sometimes I think like, what if that happens to me? What if I'm sitting down and a guy starts pissing next to me, he shoots it on my fucking shoes?
Have you seen that video of like the guy? I think it's a guy standing there pissing, and he's in a stall and he takes a water bottle and he sprays his foot with it as if he's pissing.
Yeah.
And the guy like freaks out and he like slips on the piss on the water and then he falls on his ass. Like you see his bare ass hit the floor.
Yeah. Like that, but accidental. And they're sitting, so they can't like, it's just gross. It's just like, I don't know. It's a crude episode. It's real.
Yeah, there's a lot of piss, pee, dried up cum.
Piss fetish
talk,
fans, it's a big day for you guys. Brian.
Sorry.
Brian's going to have a field day listening back to this one.
Yeah, he's going to be upset he missed it.
I
I never
said a
by the
single
way,
word.
For the audience, I forgot to tell him. He's so out of the
Wait,
loop.
would it be funny if
I haven't
Stolt
talked to him
put-
in like weeks. I have no idea where the hell he is.
What if Stolt cut like footage of Bryan from the last one, just no audio, and just put his camera over there, like he was here,
Move
and he
you
just does
over
it? Yeah.
and then just put a static
Yeah, just
like
an
5-minute
image of Bryan.
clip or something that he
Like
loops.
a loop where he like
Yeah.
blinks and every once in a while maybe clicks a pen or something.
And actually, you know what? Go ahead and do that, Stolt, and then that's the grand reveal. Bryan is fake. This Bryan that you've been seeing this
is
whole
the moment,
time.
yeah.
He's
People are
a
gonna be
fake.
like, why has Bryan not said a word? What?
I wonder,
We could have
I wonder how long it would take people to know.
we could have Bryan do the ad read for this one and be like, what the fuck? Like he only showed up for that. I wish he had. I mean, he wouldn't have done. He's here in spirit.
Yeah.
Here in spirit.
Well,
You want to end it? Let's do it.
What? How long has this been? There's no timer on this
3
one.
hours and 24 minutes.
3
is
hours?
that long for you guys? How
Yeah,
long do you
that's-
normally go?
That is quite long. We normally go. We've been trying to go 2 hours.
Like 1 hour 20.
No, we haven't done. We've honestly been not.
48.
I wouldn't want to say a hot streak, but we've been more consistently doing long episodes and like we haven't had like a mid ground where we, back in the day we would have several episodes where we're like cut, like scrap it.
Yeah.
We haven't had that in a while. Or
Well,
like
we've
where we're
also
all just
been
like,
having a lot of repeat stories that eat up a lot of time.
well, that's good.
Yeah.
Because Aqua hasn't heard them, so we tell them. That's why we keep
Yeah,
having guests,
true.
so we can tell them the same story. And then
I
the
missed
listeners.
a lot of episodes. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's.
I've seen a bunch.
I
but miss them
honestly-
sometimes.
I don't know if I've ever talked about the pea shyness thing on here. Because if I have, you stayed silent, Sam. You weren't like, me too. You're like,
Huh? Yeah.
you freak.
Yeah.
But no, Aqua, I could.
And then
I
next
can
time you bring
sense
it up,
off
I'll
of
have a
him.
different take on it.
You've got real low P energy. You've got you're low P.
Low T, low
Yeah.
P. I got it all. Yeah.
That's why my viewers keep saying, get a diaper. I don't know if I could just piss in front of. I don't know how it is with virtual audience. I've never tried it. Is it like pissing in front of a
No,
person?
it's hard. It's hard. I've done it.
Excuse you?
Yeah.
What?
I've done. It's hard to pee in front, like on stream, into a bottle.
Why did you pee on stream into a
I
bottle?
tried. Didn't work. I attempted.
Why? like
Just
just like sitting there, like
no, yeah, because okay,
like,
so there
on-
was
like-
that joke I was gonna do. This was like 2018 or whatever. We were gonna stream Tarkov, and then I was gonna have 2 bottles. I was gonna take one, and I was gonna fill it up with apple juice and put it under my desk, and then the other one it was just gonna be a full ass thing. I was gonna drink it, and then I was going to once it was empty, I was gonna be, man, I gotta piss. I was gonna piss in it.
Well,
and
you
then I
wouldn't
was-
actually, for this bit to work, have to piss in there.
I wouldn't have to, but I mean, granted, it would make a lot more sense
At
if
that point, you might as well just drink the real
Mi-
piss. If you're
might
gonna
as
full
well-
commit.
no, I was gonna drink the apple juice. Yeah, it was the end goal there, and then I never did.
I had a big. It was like, if I get 10,000 followers, I make a lot of grand statements that I can't back up, and one that somehow where it's like none of my current viewers I feel like were there, but it's like word gets around. I was like, when I get 10,000 followers, I'll. I was like pretty infancy streaming, so I was like, that's an impossible number. I'm like, I'll stand up and I'll just piss my pants, like on camera.
Yeah, that's right. I remember
And then I was
this
like,
now.
well, guys, that's like, of course I'm not really going to do that. But all everyone remembers is me making this grand statement. And then for months, people are like, where the fuck is the piss? And I like genuinely was like getting to the point where I'm like, I'm going to have to do this. And I think it was like Z-Chum or someone was like, dude, you'll get banned. Like, if you just stand up and piss your pants, like you can't do that on Twitch. Or no, I think it was Kings. I think it was in my chat. I'm like,
you definitely
I was
can't
like,
do
Kings,
that.
is that cool? Like, can I just stand up? I'm like, as long as my dick isn't out, you just see though the like,
The stain, yeah. What's wrong
Yeah.
with that?
it's not allowed because it's disgusting.
They have, like, a bodily
Yeah.
fluid
Well, they
thing.
removed
Yeah,
my
but people have
pee
like
emote.
puked and stuff.
But those are if you make yourself throw up, that's banned. That's not
Oh,
allowed.
okay, yeah.
But if
Well,
if you're just sick and you're like, I think even if you're like sick and you throw up like at your camera, it's probably not allowed.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Cody
They're
with
weird.
camera and you
Yeah.
see shit like trickle down.
You clearly don't try to
Like
throw
from,
up.
like,
What
a
if I just?
cartoon.
Well, I've already stated that sometimes I just piss my pants, you
Yeah.
know, because I'm a drunkard. And what if I just
Like
now
Liam
that
Neeson,
Yeah.
all those pictures.
Yeah. What if you guys ever get up from gaming
what?
and then your
You've
pants
not
look like
seen
Liam
those?
Neeson?
No.
There's like 50 pictures of Liam Neeson just at bars like shit faced. There's just a wet like piss stain down his leg.
Really?
Look up Liam Neeson piss pants.
There was a Twitter
all right.
thread of like, yeah, it was honestly like 50 pictures, and it's just him on the sidewalk and like wherever the fuck he is, Dublin or some shit, and
He's like the reverse of us. Like he can just piss anywhere.
dude, that guy just pisses himself.
Free.
And
That's ultimate
half
freedom.
the pics, he's just like women are like, can I have your picture? He's like, whatever. Like, like just people asking for a pic, and he's got piss on his pants.
Why are there so many instances of this?
Dude.
Must just be like a problem.
Yeah,
It's
that guy-
something.
But he has
Real
enough
bottom.
money that he should be
Yeah,
able to afford a
bucket,
goddamn like gym sock
diaper.
for his penis or something. Like,
Well, that's another thing. Like
condom
I'd
Or he
really,
doesn't know the hose method or something. I don't know.
if I were to start pissing my pants on the stream, I'd want the initial piss point where the tip of your penis is to be like halfway down my leg. So I don't know, have to tie a weight to my dick or something to get it down
just
there.
wear
and then
baggy
I'd have to get
pants so that there's some hang time between the
Oh
end of your
yeah, I'm pulling them out. I
wear
start to see-
Jinkos, and all of a sudden, like piss is hitting.
Guys,
at, like,
I
your
normally
knee.
wear these.
Yeah.
I normally wear. You just can't see me, but I love the Jinko jeans. I love them.
I love them, dude.
There's a pair of those for sale at a thrift store near me recently. And I was like, do I just fucking? But they had them for sale for like $120.
Oh, that's, that's
like,
way too
I
much.
was like, it would be kind of funny, but can you even sit in
Are you
those?
kidding me?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me to do a whole stream and then be like, all right, guys, be right back. I need to go get my food. And then you get
God, fucking
has Jinkos. Are
got
you
my
kidding me?
textbooks in my back
Dude,
pocket.
Aqua, you need to get some. You have the perfect build for Jinkos. I think it would be funny to see a tall,
I
skinny
used
guy
to
with
wear
some
them.
huge
I
You
used to
probably
wear
got
them as a
some
kid.
laying around somewhere you could still squeeze into.
I only wore them on the weekends though. I had the Jinkos, and then I had a wallet chain that I wore on the weekends. I wasn't like confident enough to wear them to school, but man, on the weekends I was the shit.
Have you seen
me tell
the like new age wallet chain? Like I've been seeing it pop up more and more. Like the trendy guys. What the new thing is? It's like what are those called? Like a carabiner or whatever, a clip with like your all your keys and shit on it, and then clip it on the front of your pants.
I put it on the back.
It sucks because I'm like, that actually looks like one. It does look kind of cool. Maybe I'm just getting brainwashed by the internet.
Cool.
It looks kind of cool,
You know who does
and
that?
it seems
Hexloom.
mighty convenient. But yeah, it's like totally become like a trend. So, am I opposed
Wait,
to
like
following the
having
trend?
like
Not
10
at all.
years.
a climbing carabiner with keys on it.
Yeah, and
That's
then,
what like every
integrating it-
dad has.
Well, I'm saying, Dad-Core is like obviously. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, look at my fucking
like 12,
shoes. People,
15 years
well,
though.
some things take a
I
while to
put them
catch
on the
on.
back, and then I shove them in my back pocket.
Well, that's
so
sweet.
They're not like
Well, that'd
loose.
be mighty inconvenient.
Yeah, what do you
When
like
you
back
sit.
your ass up to a door and then
Yeah.
If I sit down wrong,
I don't know.
it's
I'm
not
just saying,
pretty.
listen, you see me at TwitchCon with that. I've been doing it too for like 10 years. I've been always doing that. I think it's a
Okay.
great idea.
So, I mean,
yeah.
what's the alternative? Just putting all your keys in your pocket
That's
or
what
something?
I mean, who needs that
That's
many keys
crazy.
anymore in this day and age? Really, feel like those.
some keys.
I feel like those people get extra keys that they don't fucking use to really fill that thing up. Because I've got like 2 keys.
It's not about the amount of keys. It's about the clip.
I don't have it here. I do have a cool. It's like it's a keychain on one end and then a clip on the other, but I don't really know what you clip on. But it's like a thing of fabric and it says
That's
"Bad
exactly
Boy."
what I have.
says,
It says bad boy. Mine doesn't say
Mine
that.
says "Bad Boy,"
That's
which
cool.
is pretty cool. But then I broke the
All
clip,
right.
so.
when I used to work at some apartment buildings, I had one of those janitor key things that like it clips to your belt and then it has all the keys and you keep them in your pocket, but then you pull it out and,
Yeah.
and then let go and
It's
it
cool.
comes
Oh,
shooting
yeah.
back. I thought that thing was badass.
Dude, that's probably, you could be ahead of the trend on that because people got these and it's like bring back Janitor-Core.
Yeah.
You know?
Janitors are a cool look.
Janitors they wear those back. People wear those just like overall things now. It's like
You had a story about this that I think was like really similar to mine, but I don't think I've ever told you this. There was a kid in high school that graduated and then he was kind of like popular and he thought it would be cool if he became a janitor at high school so he could stay there and hang out with the kids. And he thought he was
the creepiest thing
yeah.
you could do.
And he was like, he would like try to hang out with the other kids. He's like, hey, oh guys, I gotta go clean the upstairs bathroom. I'll be back later. All right, later. And we're like,
we got a
dude,
big
you
shit
fucking
on the bathroom floor. Can you get up there?
Yeah, clean
Hold on, ladies. Be right back.
It was just so strange. We were like, dude, fucking go. Like you left high school.
Go be a janitor at a college.
Yeah, go fucking be a janitor anywhere else.
Goodwill Hunting or something. Go fucking. Go do
It's
some
fine
math
to be a
problems,
janitor,
dude.
but have a gap.
Yeah.
Have a 4-year, 5-year gap so that anybody that's at the high school has no idea who you are.
Yeah, or just be one at another high school.
Yeah, don't come back to the same stomping grounds. Be like, remember we had that home ec class last year together? It's like
go over to clean the trophy case for your names in one of them, shine it all the time. Hey, check that out. Check that out. Who's that guy? Show me your little janitor name badge. That'd be cool. That'd work on me.
Uncle Rico.
Man. Anyways, that's the end.
Yeah, now we are ending.
Aqua's getting tired. We made him talk too much.
I mean, this is pretty late for me
like 1
now, too.
a.m.
Yeah, I've been going to bed.